All right, good evening. Welcome to Fantastic Dimensions. Tonight we are playing a Call of Cthulhu near future one shot called Moonglow. So the characters are all members of the relief mining crew for Moonbase Shackleton. Consists of the mission commander, science officer, flight engineer, and mission specialist, who all work for various national and corporate space agencies. Each of you has been trained for a 6-month tour of duty in space. Um, Everything was going according to plan until your departure date was unexpectedly moved up by 2 weeks. The following day, your flight engineer was also mysteriously replaced under direct orders of the UNOOSA, which is the United Nations Office of Outer Space Affairs. Later, the crew received word that communications with the moon base had been lost. A low-level pass made by an observation satellite revealed the pressure domes appear to be undamaged and still have power, and recent activity on the surface suggests that the problem was probably only a temporary technical malfunction, which of course makes sense. That's why we're all here, right? It's just temporary technical malfunction. The crew's transport rocket did subsequently proceed to launch on schedule. So now you have almost completed your long journey. You are disembarking your automated Orion spacecraft and leaving it behind unmanned in lunar orbit as you board an Altair 2 lander and begin your descent down to the moon. You have with you a spare comm laser and emergency supplies like oxygen candles in the cargo hold. You would, of course, be aware that although the moon, the side of the moon where the base is usually continuously illuminated by sunlight, due to orbital mechanics, the base will soon experience a brief period of darkness, which lasts for several Earth days shortly after your arrival. It's like 3 days of darkness, and it's due to happen, I think, in 2 days' time. No, there you go. Yeah, see, everything's fine. Just a standard procedure. Go on down, fix the communications laser, relieve the current mining crew, and be on your way for your 6-month mission. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Cake.
your lander's final approach vector takes you directly over Shackleton Crater. Peering into the darkened crater below, you do not see any floodlights from the operating harvesters. If anyone takes a closer look, you will glimpse a fleeting glow, which you quickly realize is simply the reflection of the Altair's engine exhaust. Up ahead, you can see the blinking lights of the defunct communication tower eventually come into view. Your main comm channels remain inactive, but your short-range radio suddenly crackles into life. You hear a man's voice with I'm going to try, but with a tinge of a French accent say, "Attention, approaching spacecraft. Abort your landing and return to orbit at once. Repeat, do not attempt to land on the moon." That was really French of me, but yeah. It repeats, "Attention, approaching spacecraft. Abort your landing and return to orbit at once. Repeat, do not attempt to land on the moon."
Is it even technically feasible to abort the landing at this stage?
Well, you have less than a minute before the automatic controls will bring your spacecraft down beside the berm near the site of all previous landings. If you choose to abort now, you will have to quickly drop the descent stage and ignite the ascent rocket motor in mid-flight. So basically, you remember I was talking about before the chat, you're on the cylindrical ascent stage, basically where the crew sits, and it's attached to an octagonal descent stage, which then when you launch, the ascent stage leaves the descent stage behind, and it launches back up into lunar orbit. So you would have to do that in mid-flight. It's a pretty tricky maneuver, but you can do it. However, once you return then to the Orion aircraft, you'll have to, of course, dock with the orbiting vessel, but you then have no way of returning to the moon, so you'll have to return to Earth.
So I will address.
And we only have a minute to decide this, right?
Yeah. So I just described that to you. You would know that though. So you have a little less than a minute now.
So I will remind Commander Cortez that this is the situation, but it's his call.
I'm looking over the situation. I can't imagine a reason why it would be dangerous to set down otherwise, but we have to get this taken
Attention
care of. But
approaching spacecraft. Abort your landing and return to orbit at once. Repeat. Do not attempt to land on the moon.
This is Commander Cortez. Can you clarify your situation?
Attention approaching spacecraft. Abort your landing. Return to orbit. Do not attempt to
Who am
land
I-
on the moon.
Identify yourself, please. Who am I speaking to?
Now, you would know that there is a French crew member on the other crew because you have the
Mhm.
information of the previous crew. You can only assume it must be the specialist Rene Martel. He's
Right.
affiliated with the H3 Corporation, and he was obviously the mission specialist of the team that you're going down to relieve. But he just continues to repeat the same message and does not. You're not sure if he's not receiving your transmission or.
Does it sound recorded, like it's repeating, or is
No,
or
no,
are there
no,
slight
because
differences in his
there's slight
tone?
differences. Yep, slight differences, and like a couple times you might drop a word or whatever, and you have 25 seconds to decide.
Um. All right, I'm making the call. We're gonna go in. We'll sort things out on the ground. They can't trying to make orbit again from this position is too dangerous. So
Now,
With peculiarly little hesitation, Captain Stafford immediately sort of sits back in his seat and lets the automated landings carry on.
I would like Captain Stafford and Commander Cortez to both give me idea rolls.
sure.
87 fail.
Okay.
37. I think that I'm guessing that's a success because
Succeeds. If you're an astronaut, you better have better than a 35 intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. It occurs to you, Commander, that if you wanted to, rather than allowing the automated, you can override the automated landing, and you could attempt a manual landing somewhere else. However, there are risks involved, of course. But the lander, you or your flight engineer, both should be trained well enough to land.
Yeah.
Or
I
you
guess
could even
which
work in
one of
tandem.
us is the best pilot? Like my piloting skill is 70.
I'm a pretty good pilot, but I think you're probably more experienced than me.
All right. So I say, all right, we'll take it down. I'm going to put us down, slightly outside the facility, though. If we're not sure what's going on, I'd rather not drop into something that we don't understand. So, now normally we would be sitting down the Altair landing field, I assume.
Yes. So if we go to,
Okay.
that's really hard to see. So let me put it up here. Players map. There we go. Okay. Okay. So ordinarily, yes, you would be landing there in the Altair landing field, which again, like I said, that berm that covers 3/4 of the
Yep.
base would protect it from the, any radiation or damage or whatever from your ship's engines and stuff. However, if you want to do a manual landing, you won't want to land in the crater per se because it's kind of tricky. But you
No.
you can find how does he phrase it here? Yes, there's a desolate lunar plain beyond the base, in which you could attempt to make a landing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I mean, within walking distance, obviously. I
Yep.
mean, we're not gonna, I don't want to say, I don't want to give us a several days trip, but yeah, I want to set us down a little bit greater distance from the base itself.
Now, this will require 2 rolls.
All right.
First, I need a navigate skill from one of you to plot the new course, and one of
Okay.
you will need to make the piloting skill to touchdown, or one person can make both rolls if you like.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll handle the navigation, and I'll give the piloting job to shit name
Stafford.
Stafford.
Okay.
Stafford, set us down these coordinates here. Let me calculate that. 05, up to a good start. So that is an extreme success.
So yes, you do find a nice kind of flat area in the lunar plane, not too far, not too much of a walking distance from the base.
Okay, yep, and standard success for flight for
pilot?
the taking sim for the piloting. Yes.
Excellent. So you managed to put it down nice and smoothly. The both portions of the Altair landing craft, of course, because they're currently in tandem, the descent and ascent platforms, land successfully. Now you just have to make the long, arduous climb up to the plateau-like crater rim.
I'm gonna get on the radio again. I want to see if I can get whoever the hell was talking back on the comm.
Okay.
So I say, what's the name of the base itself? Is just
the name of the base?
Yeah,
It's
what's
Shackleton base.
Okay, Shackleton base. This is landing craft. What is your situation? We've set down west of the base on the flat plane. I give them the coordinates. I say, please advise us of your condition.
And you're getting silence on the return. Who would be the more technical of you? That would be Eric Hoffman, I believe. He's the engineer, yes?
Yep.
Hoffman, do you have, that's called electronics, I think. Do you have an decent electronic skill?
Get my character sheet up here.
If not that, then maybe it could be electrical engineering, perhaps.
Electronics. Yes, I did, but only 21 in that. Electrical repair, I have 50 in.
Okay, well, give me a percentile roll. Tell me what you roll.
Okay. Rolled a 2.
Nice. Yeah, you think that since the communications tower you assume is not working correctly, you're going to have to get up there and on the right level before you'll be able to communicate with the base appropriately, which means you'd have to use your spacesuit, short range communications.
Okay.
But you're not getting it. The long range isn't. Either you're not getting a response, the base is either not receiving your. They're either not receiving your message, or there's just nobody responding for whatever reason. And you don't hear anything else come back from the lander either anymore. Not the lander, the communication receiver for the what's it called, the Frenchman. What was his name? The other mission specialist, Rene Martel.
Renee.
You haven't heard anything from him since you altered your course and pulled away from the landing field.
Huh. I gotta call up that list of people just so I know who the hell I'm talking about. Okay. I say, well, let's suit up. We have a bit more walk than we planned on.
Okay, so you suit up.
Yeah, so we'll
and
begin
you
getting
start
suited up.
making
Yeah.
the long climb. It'll take you, well, because of the speed at which you can move. It will still take you a good few hours to get up there.
Okay. All right.
Well, wait, you can still move it like no, you're not gonna be running. You're gonna be moving like a mile an hour.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll say it takes you about 2 hours. About 2 hours.
All right.
Even probably could have done it in an hour if it weren't for the fact that you had to go up the crater.
Yeah.
Because the moon, the base is built on the crater's edge. So you're on the kind of more normal, natural descent side, if you will.
Yeah.
Not on the internal portion where all the
right.
What do you call it? The harvesting happens, because that would have been much rougher for landing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, eventually you make the the trek up there, up the crater. And yeah, let me see here. Let me pull up that map again. I want to pull up the actual moon base map. Actually, this map is good for now. So as you kind of work your way
So
up the crater.
I'm keeping my. I was gonna say I'm keeping my eyes open for any kind of anything that looks out of the ordinary. Because
Mhm.
if they were trying to wave us off for some reason, yeah, I'm looking for anything that might tip us off as to what it might be. I mean, we knew the comm was down, but
No problem. Will you be coming around the landing field side? That's probably the side where you probably landed was somewhere near
yeah,
here.
that makes sense. We'll also get a good look at the comm tower
Mhm.
and be able to see down into the crater as well. So
Okay. So as you're working your way up and then moving along the rim of the crater, kind of coming around the side, around the rim of Shackleton, essentially.
Mhm.
I know you're probably all keeping an eye out, right? So go ahead and give me spot hidden rolls. I assume you're all being, unless anybody is not being particularly watchful.
Yeah, I don't think I am actually.
Fair enough.
bunch of slackers.
Daydreaming, no worries.
Mm.
25.
I'm also going to take
So
this opportunity to apologize to anybody who's listening for my terrible Russian accent and pronunciation of the language.
Russian accent. Hard success.
Hard success. Okay.
Yeah.
What is 33 on here? Yes, squeaked. Hard success.
Okay, and another hard success. So the two of you, anyway, will spy a shimmering light in the vicinity of the man-made ramp of compacted regolith, which leads down into the crater, down into the harvesting side of the crater.
Wait, what about the ramp?
You just caught a shimmering light, very briefly.
Like torchlight, LED kind of light,
or reflected?
Yeah, give me would it be intelligence or education? Give me education rolls. Give me knowledge rolls. We'll call it.
Okay.
See, this would be
Education.
based on your previous experiences with moon missions, etc.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think knowledge is appropriate.
28. Hard success. Roll well today.
07, extreme success.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was kind of like a reflection, like sunlight gleaming off of something.
Okay.
So something metallic and stationary, in other words.
Well, it must maybe yeah, possibly.
Well, if we saw it and
Although
then
you
it
only saw it
wasn't
briefly,
there,
and
it's
you don't
probably
see it now, so it probably wasn't.
yeah, it's probably
stationary,
moving.
Totally stationary. Anyway.
Either up or down the ramp potentially.
It was a stationary word that kind of caused me to hesitate.
Is it possible that it's the harvester?
It could be possible. Yeah, you didn't see any running lights from them when you were flying over, but it's possible that the lights weren't working.
Okay. Well, I guess yeah. I was just trying to figure out if it was a bigger flash, then it could have been the harvester. If a smaller flash, it could have been, the face mask of a spacesuit or something.
Give me give me an intelligence roll for that one.
Okay.
What do I call it? Idea roll.
30.
I'll go back to the other map.
Sorry. 49. Just succeeded. Intelligence of 50.
You don't think it was big enough to be the harvester? You think, yeah, maybe it was glinting off somebody's spacesuit or something.
Okay. All right. So, at this point, what does a comm tower look like? I mean, what is it?
Looking at the comm tower,
what's
your
condition?
specialist, of course, too, can immediately tell you that it is missing its comm laser.
Okay. Does it look like it was damaged, like not broken off, or does it look like it was, like mechanically removed for some reason?
You don't see any signs of damage at the moment, Rob.
Okay.
It looks, it looks like it was probably taken down. Maybe because it was not functioning. Maybe they took it in for repair.
Right. Okay. Which one is the specialist in the in this sort of thing?
That would
Is
be
it
Rob's character, specialist Eric Hoffman, I think, right?
Hoffman? Okay.
Yep.
Hoffman, what do you make of that?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, to tell you the truth.
Well, you can just give
That-
me that idea roll.
Yeah. I'm doing
Yeah,
idea roll.
Go ahead.
Let me roll it.
So you're looking at the comm tower. You notice that the comm laser is
Yeah.
missing. It doesn't look to be damaged. There's no sign of damage on the comm tower that you can see. So
Ooh,
percentile roll against your
yeah, I didn't
intelligence.
get that one.
You didn't?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, he really doesn't know. He's like, I don't know.
Nope.
Roll a 61. Wait.
All right. I guess we'll head over to the
What's your
base itself.
intelligence, Rob?
My intelligence is 50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a grease monkey, I guess. He's not
Yeah.
he's
not a
he's a
scientist.
specialist. He's specialized. He's not a he's not a
Engineer.
doctor. He's a
Engineer.
all right. So yeah.
Yeah. So I guess unless anyone has any other thoughts, we'll head for the base proper and find out what the hell's going on. I say they were trying to wave us off. There might have been a good reason. So it's just keeping our suits on until we figure out what's going on here. Maybe there's been some kind of viral outbreak or something, and they would at least if we're in our suits, we'll minimize exposure. But I can't think of another reason why they would try and keep us from landing. And we'll head over that way.
So as you come around the protective berm, kind of right between the comm tower and the base, you will be confronted by the sight of a lunar harvester parked right in front of the command dome. So this is one of the harvesters. There are two though, so it may have been maybe another one in the crater for all you know. Its camera mast is pointed in your general direction. And I would like spot hidden rolls. We're going to call this hard spot hidden rolls.
Okay.
For all four of you.
I got a 70 in spot hidden, so I'm pretty good actually. Yeah. I got a hard.
I got a big fail.
Okay.
Weirdly enough, another 07.
Okay.
Extreme success.
Another success for our flight engineer and our commander. How about you, specialist? How did you do? Spot hidden roll, Rob.
Oh, I'm just kind of staring at the ground and slowly trudging along still.
You've been quite absent-minded this entire time.
I got a 25.
I don't like walking outside.
What's your spot hidden?
Yeah. It's not great. It's about half of what my spot hidden is.
Half is good. Half is a hard success. That's what you need. Okay, so it's enough. So immediately, Commander Cortez and can't remember your rank, Captain Stafford. You both notice there's something not right with the camera arm. It looks contorted or incorrect. It doesn't look like a normal camera arm. You, Specialist Hoffman, realize immediately there's the communications laser. It's mounted on the camera arm.
What?
And it looks to have been modified. Oh, and it fires at you. It fires in your general direction and misses horribly, blasting the space rock nearby. So space dust flies up with the very light, low gravity. I imagine it kind of floats up slowly as it does 5 points of damage to the rock not too far away from you guys. Yes. And it begins to adjust its aim.
Yeah, I say scatter, spread out.
Spread out in your 3 miles per hour maximum running speed.
Yeah, well, hey, start moving.
Based on the size of the lander and how flexible the arm is it possible to get under its arc of fire quicker than it is to get out of the way in general?
Kind of 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. The only problem is, in order to get under it, you'd need to move towards it, which might make it easier for it to hit you. So,
Well, actually, we literally just came around the berm, right?
yes, you did. So, if your best bet would be maybe to dive behind the berm.
Yeah, I say
But that's
behind.
not scattering. That means you're all heading that way.
Yeah, okay, and since we're that close, I say instead I say get
Take cover.
back around the berm.
Well, I immediately shout out "Shozagalima" and start running or bouncing.
Okay, we'll take another shot as you guys are moving back that way. And miss again. No need for dodge rolls. Not that you really get a chance. Misses again. This one does again the same amount of damage. No more space art. Now you get back behind the berm, and it's still adjusting its aim. Kind of pointed in the direction of the berm. It fires a third time, and blasts the berm very near to where you are. Doesn't destroy it or anything. I mean, it protects it from fucking rocket engine blasts. So,
Holy shit!
This modified laser doesn't damage the berm, but yeah, somebody's shooting at you.
Yeah. Holy shit! And I died behind the berm. I don't like
not having any guns.
Yeah, right. I don't like dive for the ground because that's not wise in a spacesuit on the moon. But I definitely like get behind and then get my head down. I assume this berm is relatively high.
Or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I assume
it would be pretty high. Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have to keep our heads down.
Protect it from rocket blast. It's got to be as high as the base itself. So
is the berm climbable in a spacesuit? Like, is it solid enough to for us to climb up it?
Not very easily.
Yeah, well, no, I didn't think it would be
dangerous.
Yeah.
Commander,
gravity, so it's easy enough, but the handles might be tricky.
What the hell is going on here? Yeah, Stafford.
Commander, if I remember the plans for Shackleton correctly, and based on our overflight on our way here, if we follow the berm round to the south, we should be able to approach the engineering habitat, which has a separate airlock, if I remember correctly.
It does. It does. Based on what we saw with the with that that laser turret, does it look like it could get it could turn that far to aim at the other side of the berm?
They drive, so it could move.
Well, if someone's driving it, we right now we have no idea who's doing this or why.
They can be driven from inside, or they can be remotely controlled from the CoC. So,
all right,
it's possible that if there's nobody inside it, somebody's controlling it from the command operations center, which is now in range communications range.
What is our air situation like at the moment?
What do you mean air? Oh, oxygen situation?
Yeah.
That's a good question. How much air? Oh, it's my daughter scared the shit out
of me. Because we already walked a couple hours.
Yeah. How much oxygen? That's one thing I'm not sure that they address is how long the oxygen lasts inside the spacesuit. So give me a second. I'll look at what current stuff is, and then of course, it'll be
better. I mean, they have some pretty long spacewalks. I'm guessing we're probably okay, but
in a space
just wanna
suit.
I like to have all the facts.
Yeah, we won't be okay forever.
Right. It's not like an 80s action movie where the bullets never run out,
Yeah.
How long does air last in the spacesuit? Right. Yeah, it just keeps giving me this bullshit. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you have enough oxygen there to last. It says 6 to 8.5 hours. That's because you have two tanks. So, so 3 to 4 hours per tank. So you've used about half of one tank.
And
right.
well, it depends on whether that assumes you're in 0G or whether you're in low G and
Yeah.
running.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say right now we're probably using a lot more with our with our breathing at the moment, which is probably
that
elevated.
is for 0G.
Yeah. So, suffice to say that we're
So
past the
and you're
halfway
in
point.
low
We
G.
need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're past the halfway point on one of your tanks.
Yeah.
And it's
All right.
probably not something that you want to run the risk of getting low on.
Right. I
That
say.
was
We don't know who's running this thing, but clearly they could see us. I wonder if it'd be more prudent to climb the to climb the berm south of the direct, due south of the station, and then come in on its blind side, and then come into the engineering dome like you suggested. How dangerous I think it would be to climb the berm.
Well, the worst thing that could happen if you're climbing the berm and you fail a climb roll, you could, like, I mean, the worst thing that could happen is you fall in the wrong angle and you break the mask of your spacesuit and you start leaking,
Right.
leaking into a vacuum.
Yeah.
Decompression, death.
Right.
That's the worst that could happen.
Okay.
How dangerous? Well, it depends on how good your climb roll is.
The other thing that kind of concerns me just a little bit is whoever is operating the thing didn't seem to have a good sense of aim, and maybe they can't. It seems to be, it seems rather like
It's a
makeshift,
camera
right?
arm on a lunar module, lunar
Yeah,
harness array. So yeah, it's not made for. It's obviously been
yeah,
re-engineered, repurposed.
bodged together. Yeah. My concern though is if we come around the other end of that berm, and it does decide to take a shot at us, that fuel depot is like right behind us. If it didn't seem too good at hitting. If it misses us and hits that fuel depot, we could be in
Closest to the edge
even
of the
bigger
berm.
trouble. What's that?
Who is closest to the edge of the berm?
What do you mean
Like
I guess
you guys duck back around it. Were you continuing to move, or were you close to it? Still close to the edge.
I assume I'm probably the last one, so I'm probably closest because I was probably like in the front of the
fourth
group.
blast hits the berm right by, very close to where you're standing.
Okay.
You can kind of feel yourself pushed away a little bit by the force of it, as the whole berm kind of shakes a bit. And
yeah, I was gonna say we wouldn't
dust
actually hear
rattles off
anything.
of the berm. Yeah, it's true, you wouldn't hear anything, but
Yeah,
dust rattles off of the berm.
we just see the burst of stuff and maybe hit the little
Yeah.
clunks of bits of rock hitting our helmets.
Yeah, why don't you give me what would that be? The space survival? Sorry, I don't have it in front of me. You guys
Yeah,
have a thing. Does that involve spacewalking?
it's I would assume so.
C.
Because I don't see any
Okay,
other.
you can use it to extend spacesuit life support time by an hour. You can use it to survive explosive decompression without a helmet for up to 1 round. For a round.
Yeah.
Nice. For a
Yeah.
round per roll. Sorry. Knowledge includes safety techniques, environmental hazards, and special medical problems like hypoxia. Yeah. Let's just call it a dexterity roll. Give me a dexterity roll, Alex.
Okay. Oh, you kidding me? My dexterity is 40.
Ooh.
I'm a pilot. I suck. 41. I think I'll spend the luck.
Okay, so you just gotta go down to one knee.
Yeah.
You don't fall over completely, but that one was close.
I'm gonna ask Hoffman. Does this this communication laser does it have like a? I mean, I'm assuming it's not designed to do this, right?
You definitely know it's not designed for this purpose, Hoffman. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not designed. But you know who was here? They have a scientist, French specialist. It's a scientist. It's not an engineer. That's why it's a crappy put together that he put together. It's not even decent enough to shoot us.
Well, I'm wondering if there's any kind of like recharge on it. Like, does it have to build up a charge before it can fire every time, or can it just keep firing? Like, can we?
It fired twice at us before we got into cover behind the berm, so that's going to be a long old run.
Yeah.
Give me an idea roll, Specialist Hoffman.
Okay, 100. Put it 85, so that's more than what my didn't do. Failed.
Okay, man. Boy, he's got no ideas today at the moment.
No ideas. Damn it.
When we were coming up, well, I didn't notice it at first. Never mind. I can't ask that question.
I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna try and, like, kind of stay low and kind of peer around the berm. I want to see if the vehicle is moving at all, or if it's still staying.
You peer around the berm. The vehicle is not moving. The laser seems to be steady, and it fires again on the same location. Give me a dodge roll.
Okay.
Because I got a hit.
Oh. Dodge at 20. 41. No.
Okay. So it doesn't hit you dead on. You're only going to take half damage because it's going to hit the berm right beside you. You get blasted back. Of course, again, like you mentioned, there's no sound. But you get blasted back.
Oh, yeah.
You hit the ground hard. And you are going to take 5 points of damage.
Okay. So
is that half of your health or more? Half your hit points?
No, not quite.
Okay, so you're not badly. You don't have a major injury. But you take 5 points of damage just from the force of it.
So
probably the flashing
wind
of the
gets
light
knocked out
and everything. And give me a spot.
I immediately do a quick. I immediately do a quick check on my suit as I lay there.
Yeah, you're not leaking.
Oh yeah, spot hidden. I do great. I got actually an extreme success.
After it did that, the harvester seems to have powered down.
Okay.
And the camera kind of droops a bit. The laser points a bit down at the ground, and it's now just sitting there.
Would I know what power sources they're using and how long?
Of course you would. Yes, you would.
That's what I was going to ask you whether you're doing. Okay. So,
in fact, you think that must have used a lot of power since it's not built to do that.
Yeah.
They've somehow repurposed a command laser into some kind of a laser weapon.
Right.
So you're assuming it was using a lot of power, and if you also look and see now that this thing is powered down, it looks like it's going to need to reuse the battery, so it's probably not going to work again until tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I'll give that information to the group.
Okay. I kind of get up, push myself to my feet.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give him a hand.
That worked.
That was stupid.
Oh, I prefer to think of it as brave or heroic maybe, but I'll take stupid. Let's find out who the frig is doing this, because that's is the computer system on this base, is there any, is it AI by any chance?
There is what is it called here? I'll tell you what it is. There is on the base a thing called Sally, the System Assisted Library Interface. So it's a high-tech computer program, not really so much an AI, a high-tech computer program that's programmed to answer queries, providing assistance and knowledge covering a wide range of subject matters via speakers, microphones, and display screens conveniently located throughout the dome. It's basically like a library interface, yeah, what it is.
Right. But we can't access that remotely.
It can monitor the status of key systems, keep track of personnel, dim lights, etc. Things like that.
Yeah.
You would need to access it from one of the from inside. What's it called? From one of the I just said the damn word. One
Terminals.
of the display screens, microphones, or or speakers inside the base. Okay. It's all inside the base. But you do have short-range communications. You could try to communicate with the base. If the base has its short-range communications up, you should be able to reach somebody in the CoC, if anybody's there.
All right. Yeah, I'll turn on my comm and say, attention, Moonbase Shackleton. This is Commander Jack Cortez. What I need a status report. So we have just been attacked by the lunar harvester with a repurposed communication laser. Please explain what the hell's going on.
And you hear like a crackle, like somebody kind of turns on the microphone and turns it off again real quick,
Mm-hmm.
and then comes back on and goes, "Is it true? Identify yourself again, please."
My name is Commander Jack Cortez, from United States, um, um, from United States Commander NASA. What's going on here?
And let's see here.
Is it
Is
the
this
same
specialist Mart?
voice?
Is this specialist Martel talking?
Um, it's not a French accent at all. It sounded like, well, maybe a Ukrainian accent.
Okay.
Um,
Say, identify yourself, please.
oh, that does not come up. Why not? Not sure. I'm just trying real quick to get. Oh, hold on a second.
Вибачте.
Okay, got it. Sorry, I needed to check something real quick. You hear? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. It crackles on. He says, "Vubachte, Commander. I thought you were the glow. This is Commander Dmitry Venenkov, Roscosmos."
The glow. What are you talking? What are you talking about? Who or what fired at us?
Vubachte, again, Commander. That was me. I'm sorry. I thought you were the glow. It's killed half of my crew.
All right. Where are you right now? In the command? Are you in the command dome?
Yes, I am manning the CoC. Specialist Martel has the rover. You better come in here, Commander. It's probably not safe out there. Now give me
I
a
kind of look at the others.
what would this be? Give me a listen roll, I guess.
Okay.
Listen would be the most appropriate. Or psychology.
Okay. Well, it was a 51
One
for
roll.
listen, which is
Well,
a
one roll
failure.
compared to both skills.
Okay.
Would it be a failure?
Both.
Or
Yeah, both
both
failed.
fails? Okay.
Yeah, both failed.
Anybody else that's listening to the communication might have.
Sure. Nope, that's a fail on both.
Okay. Specialist Hoffman, Dr. Pavlenko.
Nope, failed
Dr.
both.
Pavlenko, you can make this with a bonus die
Oh. All right.
because you're a doctor.
Oh, shit. So my first roll was a 71. My bonus die was a 1.
Oh.
Hmm.
This
an
man
extreme
is
success.
heavily slurring his speech, and his responses are slow. You suspect he may be intoxicated.
Commander,
Well, yes.
this man, he has been drinking.
No. I couldn't. I don't fault him that right now, but I guess it's a good thing because he might have been a better aim if he hadn't been drinking.
Indeed.
Let's just get inside and find out what the hell's going on. So we'll make our way to the airlock behind the harvester then.
Very good. Now, so you'll have to go to the airlock. Yep.
Mhm.
Once you cycle through the airlock, you will then enter the decontamination chamber, where you will have to go through decontamination. Probably takes a few minutes. Doesn't actually say here, but I imagine it takes a few minutes. You'll also notice there is a spacesuit storage area.
Mhm.
Normally should have 4 spacesuits in it. You know from previous missions. There are only 2 currently stored there.
Okay.
And in fact, yeah, they would have names on them, wouldn't they? Yeah, they would have IDs.
Yeah.
So you see Commander Ivanenkov and Dr. Weaver. Their spacesuits are in storage.
Okay.
There's no spacesuit for Specialist Martel or I can't remember.
We said Martel was out in the rover, right?
He did tell you that, yes.
Yeah.
Or Major Thompson. Major Thompson and Specialist Martel's spacesuits are not present.
Right. Okay.
Maybe they have them stored in the secondary airlock. It's possible.
All right.
But he did tell you that Martel was out in the rover. That is true as well.
All right.
Now, I guess I better pull this back up. Yes. I don't really have a more detailed map, I guess. That's about as detailed as it gets. But
okay.
After the couple minutes pass with the decontamination, you will then be basically impressurized, decontaminated. The door will open into the central CoC, where you will see a bleary-eyed Dmitri, or Commander Ivanenkov, if you prefer, waiting for you. He's leaning kind of slovenly up against a panel. His suit is kind of soiled. Looks like he hasn't washed for days. His stubble is all grown out. He hasn't shaven for days as well, and he's got like a half-empty bottle in one hand. It's got some kind of a clear alcohol or clear liquid in it, I should say, but he reeks of alcohol.
Ivanenkov, what the hell is going on here?
Welcome to Shackleton, Commander Cortez. I almost killed you, you know.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. Where's Dr. Weaver?
He looks down. He says, Dr. Weaver is dead. It is just myself and Martel now. The glow got the others.
You keep saying that. What the hell? What do you mean the glow?
It's some kind of alien, Commander.
Now I'm assuming that aliens are still not a thing.
He takes a long swig off the bottle. No,
I'm assuming that at this point aliens are not a thing.
Never
that,
been
that
any
humans
kind of
have encountered.
contact. No, there's no.
Okay.
As far as you know, aliens are a myth,
or
at least, at very least, a what would be the word? A disinformation tactic used by the government.
Say, alien? Are you serious?
Yes, it is very elusive. Even our cameras don't pick it up.
Yeah, my kind of eyes flick down to his bottle. So, and yet you see them.
Oh, you want some? It's homemade.
No,
I make it
no.
myself.
Yeah, give me that, and I'll take it. I'll take it away from him and put it on a table out of reach. I say,
it's the only thing that helps with the voices.
Do we have who's the medic in our group?
Probably Dr. Pavlenko. Closest thing to a medic you have anyway. I can't remember if he's a doctor of medicine, doctor of science, or both.
I have some rudimentary medical training.
Yeah, doctor. Maybe you should take a look at this at Ivanenkov here.
Indeed.
I'm fine, doctor. Just a little intoxicated. I've been hearing voices for days. The alcohol helps to drown them out.
I'm sure it does. The doctor's going to take a look at you. Doc, see if you can see what you can find out about him, and then I'll talk to Stafford and Hoffman. See, we need to figure out what the hell's going on here. Hoffman, why don't you access the base computer, see if you can find out if there's been any kind of you know, I don't know if they do log entries or anything like that, or I assume they make some kind of records. So,
well, Commander, if I may suggest, Specialist Hoffman is better equipped to assess the physical functionality and stability of the base. Perhaps I could check the computer logs for you.
that's fine. You check the logs, Hoffman. You and I are gonna look at look around the base, see if we can find see if there is anyone else. If he's, I can't.
If you really want to see the doctor, she is in the laboratory dome. She's not going anywhere.
Come on, Hoffman, let's go.
I don't know where Major Thompson is. He was with Martel, and Martel has not responded to any of my calls in the last hour. He told me that you left, that you returned to your spacecraft, that he was going to continue to hunt the creature, but I have not heard from him in a long time.
I have a momentary memory of that flash we saw on the track going down into the.
You have to be
crater.
careful, he says, the doctor, although if you're listening closely, you will hear him. It can possess the bodies of the dead, I think. It somehow can move them. That's why I almost killed you,
Stafford, while you're looking up those records, see if we can get a reading of the air in here. If there's any kind of toxin or some kind of leak that's causing people's minds to deteriorate.
Absolutely,
he's clearly lost his mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch to Russian and say, "Come with me, Commander. We'll get a good look at you."
Where are we going?
So, out of character, it turns out the moon is haunted. Got it.
Yes, the moon's haunted. Where are we going?
we are the guys who came back.
He kind of pulls back a bit. Come where? You can examine me here.
Very well.
I'm fine, I tell you.
Well, I'm still gonna check him over. Do like whatever reflexes and checks I can
see if
do.
he's showing any signs of like hallucination or any kind of
right.
Well, clearly he's showing signs of hallucination. There's no doubt there.
Right.
As far as we're concerned, anyway.
It all started a few weeks ago, Doctor. One of our harvesters struck a large boulder and it jammed while mining the regolith in the crater. Martel, he traveled down to the crater to repair it and brought back a fragment, he said, from a meteorite that was lodged in the excavator. While he was examining it in the geology lab, he said some kind of iridescent blob came out of it and then floated away and passed through the window and disappeared.
And blob is this glow you talk of?
Yes, it's the alien. Martel thought perhaps it was what's the word he used? Like a baby, an embryo. Anyway, we didn't see it for a while, and then eventually it was observed moving around the domes. Different crew members would see it at different times, but it would just always move away. It would seems to pass through windows without having to open doors. We could not catch it, and it avoided us. It didn't show on any of our video recordings. You can check the logs. He gestures at the specialist who's probably tapping away at the
Tell me, Commander.
Interface now.
Tell me something, Commander, then. If it does not show on video camera, then why are you using camera to hunt it?
It's the comm laser. I used the comm laser. I saw the
comm
spacesuits
attached to camera.
Yes, the spacesuits. I saw the spacesuits. I told you. It can move the bodies of the people that it kills. Martel told me it did that with Hoffman. I've not seen him since. Nor Martel. Perhaps he is dead too. You could have been Martel and Hoffman for all I know.
He is Hoffman, isn't he?
No,
Thompson.
he's
I think.
Avikov.
Yeah, but I mean, well,
Not
Hoffman's
Hoffman.
part of our
Not
group, isn't
Hoffman.
he?
Sorry.
Thompson.
Thompson. I apologize. That's
Okay.
my mistake. He's drunk. Thompson.
Fair
I
enough.
mean Thompson, not Thompson. Hoffman. That's a stupid name.
Hoffman, Thompson, close enough.
I think I'm gonna kind of step Cortez to the side and say, perhaps it is Martel who has gone crazy with isolation, and he is telling stories to carry out some murderous fantasy of alien.
No, I've seen it. I saw it with my own eyes.
You saw glow.
I saw the glow, yes.
But did you see the glow kill people? Or do you only have Martel's word for it?
Yes, we have recording, but you cannot see glow on recording. But you can see it kill her.
I would like to see recording.
Okay, I will show you. Why didn't you ask? Can I have my bottle back, please?
No.
If the voices get too loud, I may not be much help to you. So he will go over and let me find the video recording here. Yeah, okay, I'll just go back over here. I'll extract it from this information that I have.
Now Cortez and Hoffman, they were going to be going like checking out the other rest of the base too. So we're probably not there at this point.
Oh, right.
So here it is. I found it. Okay.
I would have said it on the comm thing then on our.
So this was 5 days ago. I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I was looking for something. What'd you say?
Oh no! When I said I pulled him aside, clearly then I meant I called him on our.
Oh, you're still wearing your space
communicator. Right. Well, we'd have them on, but we probably have the helmets open so you can still use a communicator.
Gotcha. Cool. So yeah, you will see 5 days ago. There's a recording from the greenhouse. He pulls up. You see the doctor there. She's inspecting. She looks like she's looking for something. She is standing near the vegetation in the greenhouse, which doesn't look natural. Looking at it, it looks discolored and drained, like the life has been drained out of it, like it hasn't been watered properly or taken care of properly. Then you see her struggling against an unseen assailant. And let me take a quick look here at its actual attacks. Yeah, it's like she's grappling with somebody, although you don't see anything on the camera. It's just like she's grappling with empty air, kind of a Fight Club-like situation. But you do see her, however, like it's like she's being dehydrated and wilting.
Okay.
Is there more here about that? Yeah. She falls to the ground. You can see her skin like wrinkled and darkened. And like within less than a minute from the time she falls to the ground, the door to the greenhouse opens and Major Thompson rushes into her side and goes down near her. And he starts runs over to the communication device and starts calling through to say, I found her, but it's too late. She's dead. It killed her. It wasn't here when I got here. I don't see it anywhere. See, I told you. What does that to a woman?
Yes, curious. I'll open the communicator and say, Commander, I've seen video of death of doctor. It is inexplicable.
Where was it?
In greenhouse.
All right, we're almost there. We'll get back to you in a moment.
Okay, so
Stand
you're
by.
going towards the greenhouse, yes?
Yeah.
Bring back
Yeah,
the map.
and Cortez is actually he's actually taking it
Going from
probably a little
command
faster
dome,
than
yeah, just straight down to the greenhouse dome. Yeah.
yeah, and he's probably taking it a little bit faster than one might expect. He's kind of like
Is anybody who's with you? Is it the?
It was just Hoffman.
Says you
And
and
I'm
Hoffman.
looking.
I thought
I'm trying to do a cursory look at the electrical, as we're going by, see
Okay.
if there's anything that has to be repaired in this area.
Everything
that kind of
seems
thing.
fine. Everything seems to be in good shape. And while this is going on, what are you doing, Stafford?
I am ostensibly just going through the publicly available base logs,
Yeah.
but you can check the private chat.
Yep.
For what else
check
I'm
the
doing.
private chat. Sorry, I didn't even know there was private chat there. Okay, yes, I knew there was private chat there, but I didn't know anything had been said. Okay, cool. Got it. Yeah, I'll come back to you last because it'll take you a little bit of time to extract, go through all the logs. You got a lot of things to listen to and read, etc.
Yep.
So first, I'll go to the commander and Hoffman, Specialist Hoffman, as they arrive in the greenhouse dome. So once the greenhouse dome door opens, you go into the dome itself, and all of the plants in the greenhouse are dead. Brittle leaves crumbling into gray dust. You check the hydroponic system, Hoffman, and see it seems to be working in perfect order. Give me a spot hidden roll. Both of you can make it.
Both, okay.
Although Hoffman gets a bonus die.
I failed. I rolled an 80 and I only have 25.
Roll your bonus die though, so you get to roll one more die. You rolled an 80
Okay.
and roll D10.
I rolled a D10. Okay.
31, so I had a hard success.
I rolled an 8 on my D10.
Okay, so you got 80 and 80. So yeah, unfortunately, your dice don't like you.
Man.
I suggest you change them.
That's okay. I get a hard success. So
yeah.
So, Commander Cortez, you pick up a faint trace of ozone in the air, and it seems to be coming. It gets stronger as you get near the automatic plumbing control valves.
Okay.
None of the electrical wiring shows any evidence of a short, though. I assume you bring it to Hoffman's attention.
Yeah. Hoffman, you smell that? It's coming from over here. And while he's looking, I'm also looking around for kind of rather agitated, looking around for the body of the doctor.
In the greenhouse dome?
Yeah.
She's not there. I told you she was in the laboratory dome, though. In fairness.
Oh, I thought you said greenhouse.
No, she was killed in the greenhouse dome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oops.
God damn it.
It's that
well,
terrible
anyway,
English
while
I
you're
have.
here,
yeah.
So you notice that scent of ozone is real for sure, Hoffman. Although it doesn't seem to be. You don't see any signs of shorts in the wiring. Do you want to check the environmental logs?
Hey.
Hoffman? That's you, Rob.
Yep, he has something going on, I think, for a moment.
Oh,
yeah, I'm sorry. Somebody came to the door here.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Do you like I said, the ozone scent is definitely there. It's not a hallucination.
Okay.
You can smell it too. There's no sign of shorts on the wiring. Would you like to check the environmental sensor logs for this dome?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So give me a library use roll to access the
Okay.
logs.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Nope, a 94.
Okay.
These are all terrible.
Yeah, nothing seems to be wrong anyway in the environmental logs. There's nothing to explain the scent of ozone or anything like that. Everything's working as expected on the environmental sensors.
Okay.
So.
Well, I was going to say while he's doing that, because it's presumably going to take him a little bit of time.
Yeah.
I say, well, while you look this over, I'm gonna I'm gonna head over to the what was it? The
Laboratory dome.
laboratory dome. Yeah. So
Yeah, go back
I'll
to
head
the
back.
command dome.
Yep.
Yep, I was going to tell the guy to bring me to the body of the scientist also.
Yeah, but please give me a little sip. I won't tell the commander.
Is the bottle even here still?
Yeah, I put it on a table,
Yeah, it's on
out of reach, but it was still in the room.
I turn and point to the bottle and shrug.
And then the door opens and the commander walks in.
That's fine.
Yes, commander, we were just coming to get you. You want to see body of the doctor.
Yeah. Said it's in the lab, right?
Come with me. I will show you. While he checks computer or whatever he's doing. He gestures at Stafford.
All right. Yeah. So I guess we'll head down the other tunnel.
So he takes you down the. This would be the directly south tunnel, right? Looking at the map. Yep. Laboratory dome is directly south of. South
Mhm.
anyway, as per the orientation of this particular map. To the
Right.
laboratory dome. So the biochemical lab has a bunch of water samples in there from the greenhouse dome, labeled greenhouse dome water samples. There are test results there on forms, from the test done on it. The lab's computer terminal is there if you want to look through any of the database searches or anything made by the doctor there. There is also in the geology lab section a strange small meteorite looking thing, which is open, sitting in the lab area. There are some notes, of course, also there in the geology lab next to this meteor sample, or meteorite itself, I guess. In the isolation room is where you will find Nora's cadaver underneath a sheet.
Yeah.
If you pull it up to take a look, you were prepared to see the body, so there's no sanity roll required.
Yeah.
But you will see her dry, ashen flesh. If you give her a quick examination, doctor, you don't see any wounds or injuries to establish any cause of this death. But
Anyone standing anyone standing near me might hear me say kind of say, oh, Nora. Just kind of as I was just gonna stare down at her.
there is also a robotic surgery, room in here as well, which is capable of performing even complex medical procedures. And there is the MRI area as well for magnetic resonance imaging. A sign there warns not to bring metal objects inside while operating the machine.
Commander, I think I must examine the body.
I told you, she's dead. There's nothing we can do for her. That's
But perhaps
the glow does this.
Perhaps she can help us.
How can she help you? No one can help you. Look, Thompson, dead. Nora, dead. Martel, probably dead too. And he has the rover.
Yes, we get it. They're dead. Now, how about you make yourself useful?
Well, I will go back to the CoC and I will keep an eye on the monitors, see if any sign of glow. I'm telling you, you watch. It will bring them back like zombies.
Just go.
No, shut up, Margaret. I know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to her. She's just a nag.
Just raise an eyebrow at that.
He starts walking back towards the CoC.
Pavlenko, do you have the skill to actually find out what she died of?
I think so. 8 years of college, so I have good chance.
All right. Just go see if anyone else did any kind of preliminary autopsy or any notes,
Of course,
and do what you can.
of course.
Damn it.
Did you know her, Commander?
Yes, I did.
My condolences.
Thank you. But right now we don't have time for that.
Indeed.
If he's right about her death, then he may be right about the others, despite his condition. We have to assume something happened here, but I'm not prepared to buy the alien glow hypothesis yet. You said you saw a video, right?
Yes, in video she
what
struggled.
did you see in it?
She struggled with invisible something, and I watched life get drained from her.
Yeah,
Could it have been some sort of could it have been some sort of fit or seizure as a result of some sort of toxin that caused this?
I don't know of any sort of human medical condition that could cause one to dehydrate at such rapid pace.
No, I understand that. I'm saying that it might not have been an invisible alien. It could have been her, reacting to some sort of toxin or pathogen or some kind of something that did this to her. It can be something we might not understand, but again, it doesn't necessarily mean it was an invisible alien glow.
Like a nerve agent.
Yeah, exactly. If she hallucinated during it, that could also explain Ivan Enkoff's hallucinations.
Indeed.
Which is unsettling. We need to find out if there's anything in the air right now, so that we can protect ourselves.
Very well. And
sent you a message.
I'm going to I'm sure there's got to be some kind of like emergency oxygen masks, right? In case of sudden decompression in a chamber, or no?
Well, I think at this point there's really no point in putting it.
You know what? I'm just gonna
would be your main thing for that, because if that's the case, you're gonna need more than just an oxygen mask.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I'll at least take off the gloves and leave the helmet open so I can use my fingers better. But I'll head over to the computer and start looking for any kind of notes on what's going on before I begin loading into the auto dock to do an autopsy.
Do we have the capability here to analyze the chemical makeup of the air around us? Like, I know a lot of times they can measure like the O2 content, carbon dioxide, any other, things like that. Again, I'm not sure what the technology is at this time period.
Environmental controls.
Right. There's gonna be some kind of like
I know we don't have like Star
foreign
Trek
particulates.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to check that but where she was attacked?
Well, in the base as a whole.
Yeah.
Like, because the air is circulating, so I mean, if there's something in the air that's causing them,
to give you that information as well.
The environmental control should, yeah.
Yeah, foreign particulates, anything like that.
All right, so I'll access Sally then. I say, Sally, this is NASA Commander Jack Cortez. Authorization code, and I give her my serial number.
Hello, Commander. I am the System Assisted Library Interface. You may call me Sally. How may I help you?
Thank you, Sally. Okay, do we have an up to date analysis of the what's what I'm looking for? The composition of the air within the station?
I can monitor the status of various key systems, including life support.
Specifically, I'm looking for any foreign gases, material, particulates, vapors, anything that shouldn't be in the air.
Analyzing. One moment. No anomalies have been reported since the anomaly in the greenhouse dome 5 days ago.
Do we have any further information on the anomaly in the greenhouse dome?
Accessing. "5 days ago at such and such time," I don't know an exact time, but whatever, announce it in Earth hours, there was an unexplained burst of neutrinos in the greenhouse dome. Now, the time that she declares is exactly the time of the attack on the doctor.
Yeah, okay. Neutrinos. Now, as far as I know, neutrinos just are harmless. They billions and billions of them pass through us every moment. It's just that they don't interact. They normally don't interact with matter. Yeah, they don't normally interact with matter. So this
Correct. That should not have caused her to shrivel up and die.
Right.
And I assume your commander would know that as well. That's,
yeah.
Okay.
Who's our most sciencey guy in the group?
Dr. Pavlenko, probably.
Pavlenko.
That's my guess.
Are you still with us, Pavlenko?
Yep, I am the chief science officer and second in
Yeah,
command.
he's still there with the body. Remember, he's going to examine to see if he can find any.
Oh, that's right.
Information.
I say.
You are in the laboratory after all.
Sally says there was a neutrino burst at the time of her death, and
if you're in the same.
Yeah, there was a neutrino burst at the time of her death in the dome. Do you think there's anything that could have caused? I'm not a scientist, but I do know that neutrinos don't normally interact with matter. I mean, maybe it's an indicator of something else. Could have been like a, I don't know.
I would be
some
surprised
kind of
if
radiation burst, something like that.
I would have to do an on-site examination.
I mean, that could also explain why the plants all died as well. If there was some sort of radiation spike, gamma rays or something that we're not able to detect.
Would I know of any kind of thing where a neutrino burst would be a symptom of some other radiation attack?
Well, neutrinos rarely interact with matter.
Right.
They would need a ridiculous amount of them to have any kind of a significant effect on a human. A supernova conveniently emits about 99% of its energy as neutrinos. So if you were standing really close to a supernova when it went off, you could possibly have enough neutrino interactions to harm you. However, you would not have survived.
we might have noticed that.
If you stay a respectable distance from any exploding stars, you should be safe.
Well, I know that they use like enormous underground tanks, and they get maybe like one neutrino to hit something to measure it. Like,
every couple of years, something.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So I don't think. Unless supernova goes off in greenhouse.
Well, I think we can probably rule that out. But I mean, we see that there are. I mean, there's got to be some sort of correlation. A neutrino burst of that size taking place at the exact moment of her death. It seems too strange to be coincidental. It's obviously possible, but we have to.
About neutrinos, right? They're neural charge, they're nearly zero mass. They pass through our bodies, buildings, Earth, etc., at a rate of trillions per second.
Okay, trillions per second. I thought it was on planes, but yeah, that's a lot.
They usually avoid contact with matter, but every so often they crash into an atom to produce a signal that allows us to observe them. Yeah, I can't really too much.
Yeah,
just a bunch of blah science stuff, but no. Sorry.
I say I talked to Sally again. I say, Sally, at the time of the neutrino anomaly, were there any other astronomical or unusual events that took place? Solar flare that we know of, um, distant supernova, black hole collision, anything that will be in our records.
Unfortunately, Commander, while the communications link to Earth is broken, my library database is restricted to base operations and general inquiries about the immediate area only.
All right.
I am sorry, but I do not have the information you're requesting available at this time.
Understood.
Meaning,
Was
she can't tell you anything about astronomical.
Yeah. Within the base at that time, were there any other anomalies?
No other
Radiation.
anomalies have been recorded throughout the base, aside from this event.
Okay.
Life support systems have been functioning at optimal performance for approximately, and she names off a ridiculous amount of days in the thousands.
Yeah.
Or whatever time days has been up. Yeah.
That's very unhelpful.
Now, while you guys are playing in the lab,
yep.
Hoffman has been trying to get the information from the environmental library in the.
Mean Stafford?
No, Hoffman. He was. Remember, you left him in the other dome, trying to check the
Oh,
environmental.
right. Hoffman, right? Yeah. Okay.
Basically, trying
Sorry,
to find the information that Sally just gave you, and he was not having any luck with it, unfortunately, because he was struggling with the log interface.
That's right.
Because his dice hate him today. Stafford,
Yep.
you have been going over logs. So, you would verify that, yes, a few weeks ago, one of the harvesters is reported to have struck a large boulder and jammed. Specialist Martel did go to repair it, brought back what was believed to be a fragment from a meteorite that was lodged in the excavator. While examining this rock, he said he has reported a strange globule that expelled from it and then quickly disappeared. He was unable to follow it or find it. There are reports from the different crew about seeing this glow in different places around the base, but it always fled from them. Seemed to be avoiding any human contact. Soon afterwards, there's reports that the plants in the greenhouse began to show abnormal signs of mutation. Dr. Weaver would report there that they seemed to gently sway on their own volition, and leaves developed an odd phosphorescent tinge. Shortly thereafter, too, the lettuce, potatoes, and other vegetables turned bitter and unpalatable, and Dr. Weaver suspected that the water supply had become contaminated, but she found no toxins or other substances which could explain the manifestations, and the purification systems checked out to be working perfectly. The crew themselves, then, you can tell from their logs, started to exhibit erratic behavior, always feeling on edge, moods growing noticeably more irritable or despondent over time. Commander Ivanenkov reported in his log that he believed they were suffering from the effects of stress and overwork, having been, on their shift basically for almost 6 months, 5.5 months. He believed they would likely recover once the next team arrived to relieve them. Let me see here. What else would there be to find? But that seems to be mostly it.
Is there any signals communication between here and the other base?
No transmissions between this base and the Chinese, Indian, and Japanese allied base at the North Pole. I did send you a private message as well. Okay, so yes, then of course you find the reports in the log about the attack on Dr. Weaver in the greenhouse. Say that the glow attacked her and killed her. Thompson was unable to get there in time to save her. She was already dead. At this point in time, Thompson and Renee donned their spacesuits and pursued the creature into the crater. Renee reports that their attempts at fighting were unsuccessful and the Major was killed in the process. The creature then seemed to enter the Major's body and he began to rise. However, Martel noticed an unnatural glow in his eyes and he did not respond to Renee's vocal prompts. So Renee fled in the Moon rover back to the base. At this point in time, then it's shown that Ivanenkov, instead of following protocol and informing mission control on Earth about what all had transpired, he recalled one of the lunar harvesters. The second one was not responding to commands. He disconnected the laser from the comm tower, upgraded the capacitors, and jury-rigged it to the rover's camera mast to create a makeshift weapon turret. Commander Ivanenkov and Specialist Martel then took shifts anxiously patrolling the moon base perimeter or standing watch in the CoC, defending the outpost against predatory alien presence for the next 4.5 days until you arrived.
Okay.
Let me see if there's anything else in the small bits for me to tell you. Yes, you would also find the geologist reports. Geologist reports on the that would be Rene Martel. His reports on the asteroid fragment. According to his report, the rock has magnetic properties, defies chemical analysis, and has measurably shrunk in size since its initial discovery. It's not conventionally radioactive, but he speculates that once the meteorite was exposed to the atmosphere inside the domes, that its atoms began to decay into dark matter. Now, do you know much about biology, Stafford?
I wouldn't have thought so. I will just check. It would come under sciences, wouldn't it? So no, nothing but the whatever the bare base is, so 0.1%.
Okay, no worries. Now, basically, this kind of a discovery would have been worthy of a major prize if he had gotten it back to Earth, but alas.
And just to confirm, as far as we know, the meteorite is still in the station somewhere. Is that correct? In the geology lab?
Yes, it is in the geology lab, as far as you know. And if you call down to the lab, they did see it when they walked in there.
Okay. Is there I'm taking there's a kind of intra-base hailing system here, is there?
Sorry, what about the hailing system?
There's just a kind of a
like
base
to the other
base
base?
No, within this one, just
Yeah,
no. General hailing channel.
No, just short range. I mean, you can basically communicate anywhere within the base, any of the domes, and maybe out to like basically not beyond the perimeter of what's this thing called again? The berm, the protective berm.
Yeah, that's fine. I only wanted to hail Commander Cortez and Dr. Pavlenko. They meet me in the CIC.
Okay, so
all right, we're on our way. And yeah, we'll immediately head out there.
You, Rob? What would Hoffman be doing now?
Shall I delay autopsy?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's go find out what Stafford's found. Maybe we won't need to.
I have a question, and okay, since I'm doing that,
yeah, you're done with that now. You can.
Okay, I'm interested in finding out if there's been any changes in electromagnetic fields around the base, unusual ones.
Your best bet to do that then would be to go back to the command dome and access the main computer logs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll say you've done that. You're already in there when he makes his call to summon the. You've just sat down to start that check.
Okay.
When Captain Stafford makes his call for the doctor and the commander to join the CoC. Also, Ivanenkov has come back in now, and he's sat back down at the main monitoring station just kind of looking. He says, "Oh, fuck," he says, the stupid harvester won't be able to fire the laser again for 13 hours. I have to
Well,
wait for a full recharge of the battery.
look, if this glow is what you say it is, do you have any reason to believe that the laser would have any effect on it?
Well, it's all it seems to be is light. So what would affect light better than a laser? We've seen it
I
pass through windows. After all, what can pass through a window? Light. It makes sense to me. And he reaches
yeah.
into a drawer at the bottom of the thing and pulls out another bottle and screws out the cap and takes a drink. Screws the cap back on, puts it back underneath, and closes the drawer.
Cortez goes to say something and then doesn't. He's he's kind of given that up as a bad job.
Martel, he seemed to believe it was worth a shot. He did the actual modifications to the laser. It was just my idea.
Well, what did you find, Stafford?
Well, gentlemen, reviewing the logs of the crew's activity over the last few days, one thing does leap to mind. Dr. Weaver suggests that whatever it was that was brought in with this meteorite or evaporated from it or was emitted by it might possibly have had some kind of environmental effect, including being possibly in the water supply, which is why the plants might have suffered before anybody else. But it occurs to me that if the water supply here is compromised and the food supply is compromised with something that causes, here he glances over meaningfully at Ivanenkov, affects behavior, that we might want to be cautious about our consuming anything that originates from here.
That's that's a good idea. So unfortunately, we haven't been here very long. We haven't been here long enough to really do it, to really eat or drink anything. Worst we've done is breathe the air. Hopefully, that's not sufficient.
Hopefully.
If trying to get all my options here, if possible, can the landing vehicle take off with all of us aboard, including our new one additional passenger?
It's possible, but it'll make it riskier.
Yeah.
It's really made for 4.
Right. Well, if any of this is correct, then I mean clearly something's happening here. Whether it's an environmental toxin, some sort of radiation, or there is actually an invisible glowing alien sucking the life out of people. We may need to evacuate. Gentlemen, let's have some ideas. What are your suggestions?
Dr. Pavlenko, with the scientific resources at your disposal, is there a way that you can conduct further research into this phenomenon?
Well, we have whole lab.
Well, so did they. The same lab, in fact.
Yes, but they're not as smart as me.
Let's hope so. Well, we know that if this is a thing, that it gives off neutrinos when it's nearby. Can we at least come up with a way to detect neutrinos on a more reliable basis? Make some kind of glow detector. And I kind of look balefully at Ivanenkov for making me say that.
I'm telling you, the laser will be ready in less than 13 hours. We wait for glow to come back again, and when we see it, we blast it.
Well, I'd like to have a better idea when it's actually coming. So what do you think? Can we make some kind of? I mean, clearly the base was able to detect these neutrinos, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I have something somewhere here for you.
And now this is a little meta because I know they're really hard to detect. So I assume we have better technology for that now.
So you're just in the CoC, right?
Question
in this
mark?
command dome.
Yeah.
There's also, of course, the crew quarters, the main airlock, like we said before.
Sally did say it was a massive amount of neutrinos.
Right.
So
now, right, in the engineering dome, you haven't been to the engineering dome, there's a 3D printer. So you're able to fabricate things.
Nice.
Anything basically less complicated than a microchip that doesn't require exotic materials. And by adding various circuit boards and other components from supply cabinets, you can build just about whatever you want within reason, given enough time and enough electrical repair, electronics, or mechanical repair skills.
Yeah.
But did you say a thing about neutrinos? Let me see. Ivanenkov says, I think there's a neutrino detector in the engineering dome with the safety equipment.
Okay. So
looks like suitcase.
So it's a portable unit.
The suitcase. He makes a gesture like holding a handle, and he rolls his eyes at you like you're dumb. Takes another drink of moonshine. Moonshine. Perfect.
So is that used for excursions outside the base?
We don't use it at all. That's why it's with the safety equipment.
Okay.
But yes, you could use it outside of the base or inside the base, whatever.
All right, Hoffman. Why don't you go grab that and let me know and let us know if there's anything else in the engineering section that we should have access to.
Okay. Yes, sir. We'll head that way.
Okay. Want to take a quick bio break?
Yes, please.
We haven't taken one yet.
Sure.
And Riz, we've been going for so long.
Yep. We'll be right back.
Time just seemed to fly by.
We're gonna die on the moon.
The dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
Well, on the bright side, as long as you're in the CoC, Commander Ivanenkov can't shoot at you with any more modified lunar harvesters.
Please stop shooting us with lasers. That would be nice.
Now, you do have a replacement comm laser, but I don't know. I think you might have. Did you bring that from the lander, or did you leave it behind?
Probably not. I mean, we were. Is it bulky?
Yeah, I imagine it would be bulky enough.
Did we not observe the fact that the comm tower was down as we were flying over? Did we not notice it was half commission?
Yeah, you did.
So surely we would have brought the spare.
Could have if you wanted.
Yeah.
If you want to say that.
It would probably make sense that we would have it.
In that case, then you do have a replacement comm laser, which you could either fix the communication tower and call back to mission control, or you could modify it into a weapon.
Rig a second laser.
How secure is communication with Earth? Who can listen?
I mean, yeah, it's a lot harder to secure than, of course, earthbound communication, or like actual. When I say earthbound, I mean like bound to the planet communication.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
It definitely could be potentially a security issue. It could be listened in on by the Chinese or the Indians, Japanese, etc. Or for that matter, the Russians, even though they are part of your alliance.
Yeah, but have we seen any of them drink water?
Have you seen anybody drink water? Oh, you mean since you've been here on
Any,
the base?
any of the Russians? Any of the Russians?
Right.
Have they drank any water?
I was going to say the only reason this guy is still capable of talking, semi-rationally is because he hasn't touched the water for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, he's not Russian; he's Ukrainian, and yeah, he's been drinking moonshine, homemade moonshine.
I only drink distilled water.
So the guy there, the Ukrainian, he said that the laser had run out of the battery. So I wonder if they have backup batteries there that we can replace it with.
Yeah, it had drained the battery of the lunar harvester, the thing that it's attached to.
The lunar harvester. Okay.
Hey, if we could run a cable from it and rig it to handhold, that could be badass.
There is another lunar harvester somewhere, but you haven't seen it. You don't know where it is right now.
Yeah. Well, he said they tried to recall that one but couldn't.
Right. So presumably it's in the crater.
Yeah. Right.
And that's where the supposed creature comes from.
Yeah.
That seems to be where Renee and Thompson had pursued it. Yes.
Okay. I kind of got lost. Sorry about that. Somebody came by. I didn't know they were coming over. So that's what happened. So if we could get a Trino reader, that would give us a notice that the entity is coming.
It might, yeah. that was my thinking. If we can detect it, then we can potentially have at least a warning that it's coming.
Right. And they say it can pass through walls.
Right.
So
well, if yeah,
it has to be some kind of form of energy itself or something that could go through walls. So I was trying to look up the files on electromagnetic interferences or whatever in their records to see if it correlates.
One could almost call it a color out of space.
Yeah.
A color never before seen on Earth.
I guess we're the two guys that have the biggest bladder, huh?
Hey, take it easy now. My bladder is plenty big. It was just full. It needed some relief.
When I was younger, I could hold my bladder for like 12, 13, 15 hours if needed. And as I got past 40 something years old, it started quickly having to go more frequently.
Well, I think everybody in this game is past 40 something, so.
Yep. True enough.
Yeah, the problem is when you get older, also you can have problems with your prostate that would cause you to have to urinate frequently. That's what happened to my dad. I used to laugh at him.
That's why I'm glad I can urinate frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
My grandfather had that problem too.
It's not so much the frequency as the volume, I suspect.
Well,
yeah.
All right, I'm refreshed. We'll wait for Merrick to get back and then we can resume. What's up, Kitty? You want my bottled water? What's wrong with your water?
Do.
I have returned.
Your water doesn't come in a bottle? Is that the problem? Yes, you don't get bottled water. I have my steadfast companion here. Oops, running away from affection as always. Don't touch me with those slimy non-food holding hands, human. Okay. Now, back to where we were. So, right. Who was going to the engineering lab? Was that Hoffman?
Hoffman, yep. Hoffman the Expendable.
Yeah.
Hoffman is heading to the engineering dome. What's everybody else? Ivan Enkov will say, I suggest that we take watches and get some rest when we can.
Not opposed to getting some rest. How long has it been since we slept?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Probably not too terribly long. I mean, then again, I mean, you were on a. How long did it take to fly to the moon? And
Fly
you
to
probably
the
slept
moon.
en route, maybe? I don't know. You're probably okay, but Ivan Enkov says, I haven't slept, I think, for 4 or 5 days. I mean, little naps when Martel was on watch, but
yeah. Why don't you get some sleep? You can. We'll keep an eye out for the glow for you.
yes, if you want some of the my vodka is in the engineering dome. You can't miss it.
All right.
It's
Sure.
made
Thank
from
you.
an old Altair pressure tank in the back of shop. Help yourself.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
And he wanders off towards the crew quarters.
Vodka.
Vodka, moonshine. It's homemade. Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I have a message. Do I have a message? Oh, I have multiple messages. Holy crap.
Who's calling me? And why? Yeah, so I mean we'll oh man, I don't yeah, well we'll wait and see what we hear from Hoffman.
Okay, so Hoffman's gone off to the engineering dome.
Yeah.
You're hanging out in the CoC. Stafford, you're also hanging out in the CoC?
Correct.
Commander.
Yes.
Commander, I want to head back to lab and start autopsy on the doctor.
All right.
I suggest you do not drink that dermo that crazy man has made.
Yeah, no, I wasn't intending on it. Do we have any supplies with us by any chance? Like some did we bring any supplies with us by any chance?
Like food and water? No. Not
really. Yeah. Or are there any basic like
let me
survival
tell you,
foods?
what did it say you had there on the on board? You had a replacement comm laser, and there was some other type of supplies, if I recall correctly. Like was it something about oxygen torches, I remember reading.
Yeah.
Was that, did I read that to you? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you have a spare comm laser and you had emergency supplies. So you might have some emergency food in your lander.
Okay.
But they're like MRE type, packaged, whatever, dehydrated food supplies.
Yeah.
And oxygen candles. They're in the cargo hold of
Okay.
the lander.
Okay.
The comm laser, though, you did say retcon. We forgot to mention it earlier, but you said you would have wanted to bring it up here with you, so that makes sense. I'll say you guys brought that with you, so it's sitting in the comm, the CoC.
Okay.
What's CoC again? Command Operations Center. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the fuck it's for.
Yeah. So we'll try and stick with our own food for a bit. And water, not touching any of this stuff.
Okay. So somebody's gonna go back to the lander to get those emergency supplies.
We'll have to. Yeah, we'll have to.
Okay. So Oleg is going. Dr. Pavlenko, apologies, is going to start the autopsy. Hoffman is going to the engineering lab, check things out. So it's going to be you or Stafford.
Unless
you want to
I'll
wait.
go. Well, let's. Yeah, we're getting spread a little too thin. We'll wait until. We'll at least wait till the autopsy is done.
Come on, every character in a separate location. That's fine with me.
Yeah. I know, right?
I can do cuts.
No. We don't want to. We don't want to make it too difficult for you there.
CoC with Stafford. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting cut is one thing I want to try to avoid.
Yeah.
So Dr. Pavlenko, you get to the med lab. You gonna hook the body up to the auto dock and get the autopsy thing started. Yep, that's fine. That'll start running. And then you want to, while you're just waiting for that to work, you want to take a look through the doctor's logs.
Yeah, see what's going on in there.
Go ahead and give me a library
kind of,
use
filter
roll on
through.
that. And while you're doing that, I'll cut over to Hoffman, Specialist Hoffman. You go to the engineering dome, and sure enough, you find there's the machine shop with the 3D printer. Like I said, in case you didn't catch it before, you know that with that, you're capable of fabricating replacement parts for most things on the station. Anything less complicated than a microchip, and that doesn't require exotic materials. And you know that, honestly, by taking various circuit boards and other components, which are in a supply cabinet, you can build all kinds of things using that 3D printer. It just takes a little bit of time and some work, but you've got the ability to fabricate a lot of stuff here on site. Also, if you absolutely needed to, there's all kinds of systems throughout the base that you could cannibalize for other circuit boards, etc., things of that sort. But just to let you know that's there, that is something in your wheelhouse too, being a specialist engineer. Now, also here, you will find a large apparatus at the back of the shop, which seems to have been constructed from a discarded pressure tank from an Altair lander and some copper tubing. And it's set up to distill vodka from potato mash. You can see it's got these awful looking, like dead looking potatoes hooked up to it. But yeah. You'll also find the safety equipment stored in the control room, which includes a suitcase-sized neutrino detector.
Okay.
And then there's a secondary airlock here in the engineering dome, which is the closest one to the fuel depot, it says. Let me look at this. Engineering dome. Oh, yeah, you see where the engineering dome and the airlock is there. The airlocks are little protrusions from those two domes. Primary one being the large one at the command dome. Secondary one is at the engineering dome that heads towards the fuel depot. All right. Cool. Was there something else specifically he was looking for when he came down here? Sorry.
Was I supposed to build something with that stuff? Seems like.
What, the neutrino detector?
Oh, I know they had one. Okay.
Yeah, presumably it already does what it's what it's supposed to do. So
right,
we just need to.
I'll just retrieve it and bring it back to you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So as soon as you get back, we'll take a look at it and see what we can do with it. We might have to modify it if we wanted to give us enough advanced warning. Like, I don't know if it's a directional thing, if it's a, like, if it's not going to tell us until it's already happening, then it's kind of too late. you know. So I mean,
Now,
yeah,
okay, so you do
let's
have
see
the
how it
one
works.
mobile, the one portable neutrino detector. You could
Yeah.
make more with the 3D printer here and the spare parts that are in the supply cabinet. And maybe you might have to cannibalize a couple of specialized parts off of the environmental. Go to bed, kiddo. Good night. Off the environmental environmental monitoring stuff, but you could easily make another neutrino detector. Probably, you could make it overnight. Essentially, you could print it up and put it all together.
Okay.
When I get back into the room there with them, I'll tell them that they have a very competent lab of being able to produce things. I have a suggestion maybe to make to you is if we could make a couple of these and we could put them out by the room, and that way it seems they say the creature, cloaked creature, is coming from there. At least it would give us a notice if the neutrinos act up there. We'd know ahead of time that something's happening.
It's an excellent idea. How many do you think we can put? How many do you think we can fabricate?
And let me look at my.
I mean, at the very least, if we could put them, around, at intervals around the base, depending on what their range is, we could probably get a good feel for, how much. We be able to get at least an early warning if it's coming.
Okay.
Is there any information? Is there any information on the case that the reader's in, such as how distance and settings and things like that?
You mean to modify it so it could?
No, not to modify it, just to know what the distance is.
To like narrow it down. Yeah, it would be pretty short range though with this size detector. You're not going to be picking something up from across the base. You'd be picking something up in the room, basically.
Okay. Relay that to the commander.
Yep.
If you wanted to make something bigger, you could. That would take longer and more work, of course.
Right.
You reckon you could build these handheld ones? You could build one about every 12 hours with the 3D printing and everything. And of course, successful rolls.
Right. Well, I mean, there's no harm in getting that started, right? So, why don't you, if you want, why don't you get a start on that, and then we will, if that way we'll at least have something if we need it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to look up. I'm sure on the computer or whatever they have all the manuals and specs of the devices. It's in the space station there.
Yeah.
I want to look up and find out the distance that does.
The range, yeah.
Yeah, the range that it will take, and some specs like that. Maybe they can be modified a little bit before we make.
Well, and even better if we like, even if we just know if they're directional or if they are just sort of an area thing.
I would say they could be directional. It's for detecting, but it'll also be able to kind of pinpoint, like, basically by pointing different directions, you say, okay, the regions come from that direction, that kind of way,
Right. Yeah. So if they're directional, that's gonna help us even more, because then we could put a cluster in close to the base and have them sort of pointing outward. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that way we can, we'll have to make fewer of them. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. There's only one machine like that on board.
Yeah, there's only one of them.
One of it. It takes 12 hours to create one of these things. Okay.
Yeah, the longest part of it is really probably the printing. It only take you a few hours of work to put one together because you're an engineer, but you got to print all the parts,
Right. Well, like I said, might as well. We don't know how long we're going to be here, so we might as well get it started.
Okay.
And and I guess our next priority should be getting the comm system back up and running. We need, we really should alert. Who is it? Anusa and
the UN.
Yeah.
United Nations Office of Outer Space.
Yeah.
A.
So do I need this device I have? Take it back with me to be able to duplicate it, or can I leave it here with them and go ahead and
you can leave it to just print. Like, say it has to print for like, I would say it has to print for about 8 hours, and you need about 4 hours of work to put it all together and get it all.
Okay, but what I was asking was this device I have with me right now, the Atrino reader. Can I leave it here with them, or do I need it back in the lab?
No, you can take it with you. Leave it with them. Whatever you know the parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know the parts, so I'll leave it. I'll leave it with them then, because they could use it possibly.
Sure.
Okay. I'll tell the commander and captain and everybody else. Here it is. Oh, there. Okay. I'll go back on my way and get started on reproducing.
Sure. Oleg, in the medical lab, you're looking at the logs while the autopsy is being performed. So the information that you would find in the logs, where is it here? Prologue. So you would find the information, yes, about the plants in the greenhouse, which were showing abnormal signs of mutation. Dr. Weaver mentions that they seem to move, swaying back and forth of their own volition, and that they had a strange phosphorescent tinge. The edible plants were quickly turning bitter and became unpalatable, and that the doctor suspected the water supply had become contaminated, but analyzed it and found no toxins or other substances which could explain the manifestations. Furthermore, checking the purification systems, everything seemed to be working perfectly. Now, because of the roll you got there, the result you got there, you also notice her files. It's been edited. Something is missing, and with that extreme success, you notice that this has been done in the last hour and a half.
Is there any way to recover data?
Give me a computer use.
Oh, shit. I got a 25 in it. Rolled a 62.
Spending luck?
You want to spend, you rolled a 62? No. Do you want to spend 50 points of luck?
No, I don't have 50
No,
points
you cannot recover it, but something has been taken out of this. Something has been, removed from this log. It is no longer there.
All right. Suspicions.
Basically, it's like you have an archive file that says that there used to be something here that's no longer here. And that is only like less than 2 hours old. It's been done since you guys arrived on the base.
That's unsettling. I don't know that yet, but...
No, you don't. Sorry.
And I don't plan on saying anything yet.
Probably wise.
Back in the CoC, Commander and Captain Stafford.
Yes.
Yes.
Waiting.
Commander, while I agree that at some point we should attempt to restore communication with Earth as a matter of urgency, in fact, while we're he glances around to make sure that there's particularly Ivanenkov isn't hanging around drunkenly in the corner.
Right.
I should take this opportunity to remind you that anything we send back to Earth via that communications laser could be easily intercepted by any one of a number of agencies.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just not sure we're going to have an option. If this is a threat, then it's a threat to everyone.
Perhaps, if it's a threat. But might I suggest that at the very least we confine ourselves to extreme generalities in any clear.
Oh, agreed. We can hold off on specifics until we've learned more, at least, because frankly we don't know much at all. All we have is the ravings of a drunk Ukrainian, and that's not much to build on.
And the corpse of a dead scientist and two other missing crew members.
True enough. We need those supplies from the we're going to need those supplies from the lander, though. So yes.
Yes. Are you suggesting I should go and get them?
Well, actually, fitness wise, which one of us would be more fit to do it? I guess would be the real question. Let's see. How's I'm 38 and gonna what's my movement? Movement of 8, so not bad actually.
What's your
size of
space
size of 50.
survival and your constitution? That's all stuff, right?
Yeah, con is 70, so fair. Space survival 30, so pretty good. How are you?
Of course, in common with everybody else here, I'm sure we've all read each other's personnel files, public personnel files, and I can tell you completely that you will have more extravehicular activity than me.
Okay, fair enough. All right, yeah. So I will I will I'll take the I'll do it.
Okay. Cool. So you're gonna suit up.
Yep.
You could refill your suit with oxygen.
Yeah, I would prefer that.
Give yourself a full, because like what, it took you a couple of hours. Like, yeah, your suit has 6.5 to 8 hours of total oxygen, and you're reckoning a 4-hour round trip, plus actually getting supplies, maybe 4.5 hours.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Now I know that the laser on that the harvester is dead for a while.
Yeah.
Is
you
it?
can actually
But what
check
about
in
the
command console? You can check to see the recharge rate. It's still going to be probably. How long have you been here now? You think maybe a couple hours?
Yeah.
It's still going to be probably like 12 hours before it recharges.
But what if I just wanted to use it to as a vehicle?
The same.
Like would oh, okay. I don't know if that took less juice or something. We can. All right, that's fine.
The recharge.
Yeah, recharge is what
cycle
it is. Yeah,
it's going to take 12 hours.
No problem. All right, yeah. So I will. Do they have any kind of like this is sort of this is basically kind of like a mining facility, right? Do they have any kind of carts or anything they could pull?
Let's see, can you drive the rover? The rover.
I thought the rover was out somewhere.
I'm just wondering if you can. No, the rover cannot be remote controlled. Only the harvesters. Okay. I had to check to see if the rover could be, if you could call the rover back, basically, but you cannot. Sorry, it's just a thought that crossed my mind. What else were you asking about? If they have
any kind of like hand
vehicles?
carts or anything like that for moving things around. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably would. Yeah, why wouldn't they have some kind of sleds or something like that? Or carts. Yeah.
Yeah, like a little wheel buggy kind of thing, just a little, or just so they can pull along.
Yeah.
Just to make the trip a little bit easier.
Loading the stuff up onto and bringing it back up. Yeah. I'd say they would.
All right, then I will. I will do that. I will get one of those and and as soon as I'm suited up, I'll head off back to the lander. I'll stay in contact as long as I can, but I'm probably going to lose contact as soon as I get around that berm and start heading down the slope. So, so that means that let's see who's in command. Is it Hoffman in command? I think
That would be me. I am second in command.
Yeah. All right. So I'll contact. Plavenko is second in command.
Is he? No, who said? Sorry,
I did.
Yeah.
I'm second in command. Yeah.
Dr. Pavlenko is designated science officer and second in command of the mission. That's correct. Yep.
Oh, okay, perfect. So, yeah. So I if you're not in the room, I'll get on the radio and say, Plavenko, I'm heading off to the lander to get supplies, and so you're in command till I return.
You are going alone?
Yeah, I'd rather not leave this place unprotected.
Sure is a good idea to go alone?
No, not at all. But I don't know what more people going would help with. Unless you have the ability to fight off a glowing space monster. That I don't know about.
I'm afraid I left a magic sword at home.
No, we'll put that on our next requisition form.
Understood.
All right. Be careful. And I'll head out.
So you head out, leaving Stafford in the command center. Hoffman, you went back to start the 3D printing, getting set up to build another one of those neutrino things, right?
Yes,
neutrino
detectors. Pavlenko,
in
you're
the
still
tree.
working on the autopsy. It won't be too much longer. Maybe an hour or less even before you get the full results. Yeah. Sound good?
Yep.
Excellent.
Just making sure I know where everybody is. And
yep.
Dimitri is, as far as anyone knows, sleeping in his cabin, as it were. Okay. Anything anybody wants to do before I fast forward about an hour?
I'm just going to be hoofing it. I do try to make
back to the lander.
Yeah. I do try to make up as much time as I can going down the hill.
Like 3/4 of the way because you're going downhill.
Yeah.
But you don't want to go too fast.
Right. Yeah. We don't want to fall.
Yeah. So say you're about 3/4 of the way back. Anything else anybody wants to do in the next hour?
No.
Okay. So
just keep feeling what I'm doing. Monitor the autopsy.
Autopsy results. Dr. Pavlenko comes in. She appears to have all of the. How would I describe this scientifically? Basically, it's like she's imagine how somebody kind of deteriorates over time at old age and just you eventually die of kind of natural causes. It's like that happened in seconds. It's like she was a healthy woman. Doctor, how old was she? Let me just double check. That's back on handout 1. It doesn't necessarily say her age, does it, Dr. Weaver? Well, anyway, do I have anything on her back here? Dr. Nora Weaver. She was English-born, science officer. It doesn't say how old she was, but let's just assume she's in her 30s, right? It's as if she aged 100 years in less than a minute. As far as what caused it, there's no signs of anything. There's no, there's no injuries. It's just as if like her life was accelerated at a ridiculous speed to age 100 years in, or close to 100 years in maybe 20 seconds.
It helped to unmute myself. Okay. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So she died of old age.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, you know that's not true. Well,
Right.
I guess maybe if the system tells you she died of old age, yeah. That she died of natural causes, basically like through age-based deterioration. But you know that she was too young. That should not have happened. Especially if you'd have the files, you'd have her previous physicals and everything else. Like, yeah, there's no rational explanation for it.
All right, we're gonna have to think about that.
Okay, while you're thinking about that, Hoffman, you've got all the parts put together that you'll need. You save yourself some time when that's all done printing the rest. Do you want to stay here? I mean, you've got another 7 hours anyway of printing to do for the other parts of the detector, or do you want to do something else?
I think the best thing to do would be to get some parts, get them ready, and that way when it gets done, you just pop another one in,
Okay.
that kind of thing. So try to get ahead of myself,
For a while.
or at least 3 of them ahead. That way, if God forbid something happens to him, at least they could go ahead and keep producing them.
Captain Stafford, you're keeping an eye, I guess, on the external cameras around the base just to see.
I am. While I'm there, if it's feasible, I want to see if I can establish contact with the other mining vehicle.
The other harvester?
Yeah. Oh, no, we can't do that because the comms are out.
Yep.
We haven't got sufficiently long-range comms, have we?
No, unfortunately.
Where the hell is the Frenchman? He radioed us. We were in radio contact with him.
You don't know where he is. But according to Ivanenkov, he took the rover and was out somewhere hunting the glow.
And Thompson, do we know how he disappeared? Where he's gone?
It was reported by Martel that when he and Martel and Thompson initially went out to hunt the glow, they caught up with it in an area in the crater. It quickly killed Thompson. And
killed Thompson, right? That's
apparently
it. That's
reanimated his corpse. At which point Martel fled back to the rover and headed back to the CoC. And that's when, after he came back and made that report, that's when Ivanenkov went and called back the harvesters, only one of which returned. Then they tore down the communications layer, made the modifications, etc.
So, in theory, too much time has elapsed for Thompson to still be, inverted commas, alive, assuming he was wearing a suit which was in good condition and all the rest of it.
Yeah. I mean,
It's been
gone
like a couple of days,
more
right?
than 5 days.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Or 4.5 days. Yeah, it's about 5 days now. Definitely not.
So yeah, no, I will just be if there's a way of displaying all of the internal security cameras on one kind of split screen, I will just sit and idly watch them all, paying particular attention to the 2 airlocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Good. Commander Jack Cortez. What's the
That's
worst
my
that
name.
could happen?
Don't wear it out. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So how am I doing?
Let's see. So you're making your way down the crater towards the lander. You made about 3/4 of the way now. You can see the lander up ahead. You'll be there at your slow speed, like moving. You're moving about 3 to 4 miles an hour.
Right.
Oh well, actually, yeah. If you're moving about 3 miles an hour, you're almost there. Come to think of it, Jesus. You're probably not moving a full 3 miles an hour because I imagine you're not running down this hill, but you're moving it.
Right.
So you're almost to the lunar lander. You can kind of see it up ahead.
Right.
Now, as you're moving in that direction, I'm just looking for something here. information. Sorry about that. Yeah. Where is it? No, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, that's
Oh,
oh.
okay. I'm
Um.
dead.
Jeez. Yeah, there's no way. You don't have the neutrino detector, right?
That's correct.
No. Okay. Well, it's going to get a surprise attack on you as you're attacked by the glowing alien. Because there's
Awesome.
no possible way for you to know it's coming up, coming sneaking
Right.
up behind you. See, it's slipping in and
Nope.
out of fissures and everything else.
Yeah.
So it makes a grappling attack at you at surprise.
Yep.
Um, how does this one work? It's just a grapple, right? Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
okay. It grabs hold of you.
Yep.
Basically, I mean, by kind of like doesn't explain exactly how it grabs. Well, yeah, it's like a colorful, glowing kind of fog, and it can kind of wrap around you, and it hardens in places, and almost like grabs hold of you, and it kind of like
Okay.
passes through parts of your suit and everything, and it especially is passing. It wraps around you and starts to come right through your what do you call that? Your dome, your
Visor.
glass visor. Yeah, your
Visor. Yeah.
visor.
My
Yes.
personal dome, as I like to think of it.
So the surprise attack does. Am I reading this right? Yeah, that's the. What did I read before? Oh no, I was looking at the laser for it. I was like, that's not the way I thought it worked before. We will call this drain opposed roll victim's power. Okay. Yeah, roll your power versus its power.
Okay. My power's actually really good. It's 80.
Cool.
So, yeah. Uh, 39. That's just a hard success.
And I have a hard success. In the case of a combat, I believe a tie favors the defender still.
Okay.
So it is trying to, yeah, it's trying to suck the life out of you, essentially.
All right.
You do take damage plus characteristics.
Oh crap.
But if it failed the power roll, I guess you wouldn't take any damage. No, you don't take damage yet this turn. So you
Okay.
feel yourself being held by this thing. It's very bizarre. You can't put a color on it.
Right.
It's otherworldly. Like it's not quite pink or green or yellow or
Yeah.
yeah. It seems to even shift a little bit as you struggle against it, and it would look kind of like you're being attacked by a partially solidified cloud. The parts that solidify are the parts that are kind of grappling around with your arms, and the part that's trying to pass through your visor like a tendril is almost completely yeah, it's turned into like almost just pure light. So
I have no idea if it'll help, but I'm going to put down my, the gold visor, the one that's supposed to help against like bright sunlight. It's supposed to be it's like
what
a
is your
highly reflective
dexterity?
surface. It is 40.
So before you can do that, it will make another drain
Yeah.
attack. So roll your
Yeah.
power. I
All
have
right.
hard success.
48. So a regular
Spend
success.
luck to bring that down to a hard success.
I do. So,
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, nope. That's my sanity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Because I don't want to die.
And so you're bringing down the gold. What does that do?
Well, I have no idea if it'll help. It depends who wrote the scenario. But my character probably just be thinking like, it's the gold. You see the pictures of the astronauts with the gold visor down.
Yeah.
It's mainly meant to protect against bright, like direct sunlight, because
Is it still glass?
the,
Can they still see through it?
no, they can't. They actually can't see through it. it's very reflective. It's kind of like a one-way mirror almost. You know how you can see, you can't see people on the other side of the mirror, but they can see out.
Okay, so you can still see through it from inside.
But they can't.
Outside.
We'll normalize anyway. I don't know what this thing can see or not. But
is that still glass?
Yeah. Well, it's glass, but it's impregnated with like a metal. It's like metal infused glass. It has a metallic coating on it. I don't know exactly, but I know it has like a metallic, like a gold metallic coating.
Yep. So you bring it down, and it like is temporarily repelled, kind of pulls back. You're still grappled.
Yeah.
Do you want to try to break free of the grapple?
Yeah. If I can find any parts where it's solidified, I try to break free and.
Cool.
All right. So what kind of check is this going to be? Is it a strength or a power or?
It's
dex?
Since it's a grapple fighting maneuver, so yeah, it would be
or brawl.
Yeah, it would be brawl. I think. Hold on, let me double check because I think you can oppose it with. I better double check because that can make a big difference between your brawl skill and your dexterity, or well, maybe not in your case, or your strength perhaps.
Yeah, my strength's better, but yeah.
That was in combat. I just want to double check the grappling thing. I've played so many goddamn RPGs in my life, and I still never know the goddamn grappling rules of any of them.
I know what you mean.
I never remember. Fighting maneuvers. Okay, I skipped it. I guess it's just under fighting maneuver. Grapple, right?
Yeah.
Not improvised weapons. Fist fights. Okay. If I choose back, they use fight. If they choose dodge, they use dodge. But what about... That's determining damage. No. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot. Okay. Let's do this. There's an index, right? Yes, there is. Index. Let's just look for the word grappling real quick. There's nothing for grappling. So I guess it's just combat maneuver. So I guess I was mistaken. Yeah, it has to be brawl or dodge or... Why did I think there was a thing where you could roll strength or... I don't know.
Well, I'll do whatever you think makes more sense in this case, because I'm not really fighting a physical, human at this point. So,
yeah.
Is it, is it strength? Is it dex? I don't know.
It would be
or a brawl.
Yep.
Brawl. Okay. Well, that's slightly better than my dex. All right. No. 85. So, I would have to spend like 40 to get it to a normal success, which I could do. I literally have 41 luck. I guess it makes sense. I can't afford to lose my life here.
Okay.
So I'll spend the luck.
You bring down the shield, which
yep,
kind of knocks it back for a second. At least the light that was coming to your face. Excuse me.
Yep.
Then you manage to just wrestle free every ounce of your will. You manage to shake this thing loose, and it attacks again. So roll another.
And I'm yeah, okay, yep. Can I dodge now that I can see it?
Yes.
Oh, then now that I know it's attacking me?
You could.
Yeah.
Yes. You certainly could.
Okay. At least gives me a chance anyway.
Okay.
Actually, a regular success on dodge.
Okay, and you managed to dodge it.
Okay. And I'm now bounding down the hill, like taking these long. Oh yeah. I'm taking long, big steps. Boom, boom. Well, there's no way I can outrun it going uphill. I might outrun it going downhill. Plus, maybe I can get there and I don't know, get a signal out of some kind. I don't know. Oh yeah.
Of course, sanity.
My sanity's 80, so my sanity's actually pretty darn good.
Good.
Recall physical.
Might have to kill you with physical damage then.
That's right. Oh, you're doing great. 12. So yeah, I did fine.
Okay, you lose no sanity. Sorry, we're rolling. You lose no sanity on a success. So you start bounding down the hill. Now you are moving at a ridiculously slow speed.
Yep.
And this thing flies 1.5 times the speed of a human being.
Oh, jeez.
And is not affected by gravity or the lack thereof.
Damn it.
So it totally catches you and tries to grapple you
Good.
again.
It's just a matter of time.
Tries to grapple you again.
All right.
Um,
The other thing that's going to keep me alive is my power, which is pretty good, of 80, which is extraordinary considering.
Do you want to dodge, fight back?
Oh yeah, I will. I will definitely. Well, I want to fight back with what? I will dodge.
Roll. You have 1 luck left, I think you said, right? Did you
Yeah.
40?
No, I don't dodge it this time. I missed. I would need 2 luck, and I only have 1. So.
Oh shit! Really?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, make a power roll, please.
All right.
Oh no! I have an extreme success. I rolled an 11.
Oh. No, I missed an extreme by 4.
Okay, you take 2
with no luck
points
left.
of physical hit point damage.
Okay.
You take 7 points of strength damage.
Ouch.
1 point of con damage. 9 points of power damage.
How much con damage?
9.
How much con damage was it?
1 con. 9.
Oh, okay, so that's not
power.
too bad. Okay.
My power is now an 84.
Yep.
2 points of dexterity and 6 points of appearance.
Okay. Well,
I presume none of those will drain to 0.
No.
And it is your action. You may try to escape it if you wish.
Yeah. Yep. I go to escape.
And it seems to have adjusted, and it is penetrating through your glass or your gold.
I succeed. I succeed on my brawl.
Okay.
Regular success.
And I succeed, so it's a tie. So there's no change, right? So it still grappled you.
Yep.
The next round, make the power. Yeah, make the power roll opposed again.
Yep.
Now I have a modified 84 power, and my power is a normal success.
Oh well, at least I got an extreme success on that. So
okay. So it is unable to damage you that round, and you may try to roll free again if you wish.
Yeah, I do. 94. I do not.
Okay. So it still maintains. Do another power check.
Yep. Regular success.
Also a regular success, so it is a wash, right? It's a tie, so nothing changes.
Brawl again. Oh, that's a good one. That is a hard success on the brawl.
Break free again.
All right. Okay. Well, let me think about this. I can't run. Damn it. I'll try. I square off, and I'm gonna try to punch it.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Because what else? I can't outrun it. It can go through matter. It's like I look for a solid part, and I try to punch the color out of space. Never thought I'd say that. That is a hard success.
So your slow motion space punch.
Yep.
You hit right in one of the more solid areas, and you feel it kind of just like give, and it just forms around you and tries to wrap around your arm again.
Yeah.
Got a normal success on the grapple.
Okay.
Oh
yeah, dodge. Regular success on the dodge.
You managed to dodge again, so it starts to try to wrap around your arm. You managed to pull your arm away.
Yeah. I'm gonna continue to like back down the hill, you know, as I'm fighting it.
Down to the lander, down towards the lander.
By the way, I will try and contact the base in the odd chance that they might hear me.
Okay.
So
Unfortunately,
I don't know if I,
because you're down the creek.
yeah, I
But
know.
you're trying.
Yeah, I would anyway.
Not coming
Just
through, unfortunately.
yep.
Yep. I will say at this rate, as you're moving back towards the lander, I would say it has 3 more rounds to try to attack you before you get to the lander, unless it manages to grapple you again.
Okay.
Okay. So, first round. I have a hard success.
Okay. That was in the grapple. Okay. I do not succeed on the dodge.
Okay, roll your power.
Okay.
I have a normal success under my 84.
Normal success.
Okay.
I mean, I
try to break free again.
Yep.
You're 3 rounds away from the lander.
Brawl. 11. So that is a hard success. Yep.
Yeah, okay, you break free from it again. You're able to move another round towards the lander.
Yep.
It again tries to grapple you with a normal success.
Okay. Not this time on the not this time on the dodge.
Power.
Regular success.
Okay. Does no damage. You can try to break free again.
Yep. 23. That is success.
You break free and you move another
almost hard success. So yeah.
You're 1 round for the lander. It tries to grab you once more. Whoa, my dice have turned on me.
Miss?
Yeah, I missed.
Okay.
So it fails to grapple you again. You move.
Yeah.
You get to the lander. What do you do when you get there?
I'm scrambling to get in.
Okay.
Kicking at the thing if I have to.
Give me a spot hidden roll, because I imagine you have to turn, kind of look at what you're doing as you're trying to get in. So let's see if you notice something.
I did okay on that. A hard success.
It stops attacking you as you start opening the door, the hatch, whatever.
Okay.
As you're climbing in, you just catch a glimpse of it moving towards the cargo area.
Of the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cargo compartments, whatever they're called.
Yeah. I mean, what do we have? What do we? I mean, what do we have in the cargo compartment? I mean, I assume I would know. Like,
the things
I know we
that
have
you're going to get, I believe.
Some foodstuffs.
Yeah, your food stuff.
All right. I'm going to continue to climb in.
Okay.
I'm damn it. I'm going to make an emergency evacuation.
So you're going to launch?
I'm leaving. Yeah.
Okay. You press the button and begin the launch sequence.
I buckle myself in. My thought is that maybe the fire from the explosion from the launch might destroy it or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But I figure at the very least I can contact Earth and get a rescue team up here.
Nice. Now let me see here.
At least that's my justification for it. I mean, there's no way I can get back. If this thing's down there,
no,
there's no. There's yeah.
It's pretty overwhelming. It's super. I mean, it's just got all the advantages in space.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Alter your lander again. I just want to see cylindrical stage on top, which you climbed up to the compartment.
Sorry, guys.
Smaller motor, the descent stage contains a larger engine, fuel tanks, landing gear, and additional cargo space. Right. So you take off in the cylinder, leaving the octagonal descent portion behind.
Yep.
Yeah, and the thing launches. So, yeah, back at base. Another hour passes. Anything else you guys are going to do in the next hour? Anything? Actually, let's just say in the next like 3 hours even. Is there anything else you guys want to do at the base? You've
Yeah,
had
because
your
there's no mystery until he's been gone at least two and a half, 3 hours.
yeah. At least
Right.
Yep.
But we know it took us how long to get here?
took you a couple hours.
An hour and a bit, yeah, more than an
Oh,
hour.
okay. I thought it was like 4 hours to get here for some reason.
No, it wasn't that much. I don't think.
No,
Okay,
it should
so
have taken him at most about a 4-hour round trip.
got it. So I'm not really worried until it's been
Yeah.
at least
Another 3 hours.
right.
So does the doctor that did the autopsy, Oleg, did he put that up on something where we know the results of ourselves right
Nope.
No.
Not at all.
Okay, so I'm going to investigate the electromagnetic stuff. I've been interested in that for a while. I haven't got a chance to check it out.
Yeah.
Has there been any?
No.
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing. Unfortunately, you combed through for a good hour, and there's nothing unusual in the logs. All the readings are normal electromagnetically.
Okay.
Give it a couple hours.
Was there any going to the computer again, and the I guess you'd call it the computer for the whole ship, or I mean the whole base.
Back to the the CoC, the command center.
Yeah, well, I just need to access the computer. I would assume you could do it in whichever room you're in with
Yeah.
voice.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. The library. Yeah. Sorry.
I want to ask them: has there been any cycle or any difference in temporal things happening?
What now?
Temporal?
Yeah. Has there been any problem with clocks, watches, or things that settings in the computers? Yeah, exactly.
No, everything checks out. All diagnostics come back clean. Everything is in order. Of course, Sally wouldn't talk like that. Sally would say, all station chronometers are running at ideal performance. No anomalies reported.
Okay, gotcha.
Still watching the cameras. Still sort of half-heartedly watching the cameras, noticing
Give me a
Dr.
luck roll.
Yes, certainly.
You gotta see me taking off.
just a glow on a shadow moving across the outside. 42
Right.
Pass.
Yep. Yeah, and give me a spot hidden roll. Just take a normal success. I don't need anything hard or anything.
Yep, that's a normal success, 56.
Yeah, you see something moving externally, and you check and look, and you've watched enough of this stuff before. You see your landing, your lander, the cylindrical ascent module is ascending. It is on a launch trajectory. It looks like it's heading right back up to lunar orbit where you left your Orion craft.
Immediately try and hail it. I mean,
you can't.
Temporarily, yeah, exactly. Temporarily forgetting.
But there's no comms laser, so yep.
Well, we could actually hear. We heard that French guy on approach, didn't we? So I mean, before I get to orbit, would he be able to?
You did
contact me?
That's a good point. Yeah. Okay. You're getting hailed in the lander, Alex, from the base.
Okay. As I'm sort of the thing is shaking and I'm shuddering under the G-forces.
Hail from the command.
I hit the comm. I say, Cortez here.
Commander, would you please explain what you're doing?
I was attacked by the glow thing. It was there was no way for me to get back. I'm going to acquire orbit and make contact with NASA.
I see. I mean, we're not intrinsically we're not doomed here. It's not like it's Mars. It's the moon, right?
You're on a moon base. You've got
yeah.
contaminated food and
Hydroponics, you got
water.
contaminated food and
Yes.
water. You got, you're guessing, yeah. I mean, the food is visibly, the food you can tell is contaminated by looking at it. It's dead, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's slightly contaminated.
Yeah. And
The
he's
water
just taken.
checks out fine so far. So,
And I'm assuming that the cargo space must be in the descent portion, not the ascent portion, because that would be
that is
stupid
correct.
to us. Yeah,
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I checked that too because
Yeah.
there was a special gift in the cargo, but
A
gift.
All right, Commander. Best of luck, I suppose.
I promise that there was no other way.
No doubt. Good luck.
Well,
Was that a closed channel or did everybody hear it?
I would have the most direct and immediate way of contacting them. I probably wouldn't have thought about it.
yeah, it was probably broadcast station wide.
yeah.
Okay, so presumably his voice is getting fainter and fainter while this is going on anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're losing signal.
Yeah.
As he goes back into orbit.
At that point, I noticed that the kind of green station-wide broadcast light is on, and
oh, that's awkward.
well, gentlemen, I take it that we all heard that exchange and are aware of its significance.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
Dr. Pavlenko, you must forgive me a technically ignorant question. I know that humanity has spent a great deal of time trying to detect neutrinos, but what do you know in the way of blocking them?
Oh, you don't block.
Really?
No. If the neutrinos pass trillions of times through your body every second. You don't block. Even if you're deep in Earth. If 10 mile of crust can't block, I can't make anything that'll block.
You can't deflect them. You can't, not through magnetism, radiation.
There isn't really, right? I can't think of anything.
That's a good question.
Out of all the stuff I've heard about it,
neutrinos
I would have to say no.
be blocked? Oh, wait a minute. What is this? High energy neutrinos, very high energy neutrinos, can be absorbed by something. They are often absorbed by the Earth. Well, maybe not often, but they have been absorbed by the Earth. It used to be said that neutrinos were massless and could pass through anything, but in recent years, scientists have realized that these strange particles, some of which were formed in the first second of the early universe, travel at the speed of light, are only practically massless. It's been proven experimentally by scientists working with data at the ice cube detector at Earth's south pole that very energetic neutrinos can, in fact, be blocked.
This is what we would call a high energy concentration.
Right.
It's just by absorption by mass, presumably, by the sounds of things. It's just the sheer mass of the Earth is capable of absorbing them. It's not like there's a
low energy neutrinos pass through just about anything. High energy neutrinos, however, they could be stopped by anything.
Yes, of course. Yeah, because high energy is a relative term in this instance, isn't it?
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
And although I don't know that yet because I didn't witness what was going on outside. Okay.
Right.
Although we do have
the doctor would be aware of this, however. So he's essentially right. You don't stop neutrinos. I mean, some high energy neutrinos, yes, could be stopped, but they would be stopped by your spacesuit. Something that's passing through glass windows and is probably not going to be stopped.
And Doctor, am I right in thinking that the description we've had so far indicates an anomaly which is at least appears to be constructed of neutrinos which are capable of altering their mass and energy state? Is that correct? So it doesn't matter what we do.
Sorry, I mean Merrick, right?
Yeah.
I think he's
Pretty much.
All right, then we have.
So if thing is made of neutrinos, we are how do you say? You bet?
I'm afraid I don't speak Russian. But,
it is you know, getting rammed.
yes, yes,
Something like that.
yes.
Shite.
Yes.
Then I suggest all we can do is await Commander Cortez's attempts at further intervention from Earth.
Can we set up a second comm laser as weapon?
Can we? Well, can you and Specialist Hoffman? I suspect that's a task beyond my capacities.
Might be worth a shot. Maybe we can blow thing up.
Perhaps, but where are you going to do this? If Ivanenkov is correct, and its walls are no barrier to it passing through, where do we aim such a weapon?
Can we maybe hook up the base power rather than shitty battery?
That solves the problem of capacity, but not of. Are you suggesting you could make something portable, or at least more portable than than Specialist Martel's efforts?
Here's what bugged me about previous attempt. They set it up next to camera, then say you can't see on camera. How are they going to aim when you can't see on camera anyway?
Indeed.
He did address that. That question was asked, remember?
Right.
He said you can't see it, but you can see the bodies when it possesses them.
Yeah.
But we also know it doesn't need to possess a body, and in fact, it would be slightly strange if it did possess a body, if it can just attack and kill the way it did to Dr. Weaver.
Exactly. That was what kind of struck me as weird. Why would it take the time to possess a body to sneak into the base when it can just come right into the
intelligence? Why does it do anything it does?
It may need something that can lift things where it can't lift things or move things, possibly. Use them as basically as a machine. The body would be a machine that they could maneuver to.
The drunken Ukrainian staggers into the CoC from the direction of the crew quarters and says, "Is that true? This American son of a bitch leave us here?"
It certainly would appear to be the case.
Goddamn right I did.
You're out of communication range. Quiet.
Yeah, I know. It's here
Son
echoing.
Of a bitch.
Yes, well, we could spend a great deal of time swearing at him, or we could get on with the task of staying alive for the next. What sort of time scale are we talking about in terms of rescue, do we think?
Well, let's see here. So it takes 3 days to reach Earth. However, the main thing is all the time to organize a crew, a spacecraft, a launch window.
We're talking days. Days.
We're talking weeks.
Well, yes. So we could spend the next...
possibly a couple of months, depending on how quickly they get everything together, and because there's a lot involved in launching a mission to the moon.
I'm going to assume that reasonably credible, well, as credible as they can be, reports of an unknown extraterrestrial, seemingly sentient or semi-sentient life form is going to, light a little bit of a fire.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Well, gentlemen,
if they believe him, and they may think he's
give me
space
a
crazy.
knowledge roll based on your own experiences. I think this is for Neil only. For Captain Savage, give me a knowledge roll.
It's going to be a. Oh, hang on. Let me just double check.
Just
What's
need a
my
success.
intelligence?
Knowledge is based on education.
Education. I still missed it.
Okay.
Okay. It's too bad. We need to contact the Chinese.
Absolutely not.
No.
Rather die? I don't mean now. I mean if it's going to be, we're running on no food, no water, nothing.
Well, that's the
situation.
We
have food and water, hydroponics, and vodka too.
Yes.
It's kept me alive all this time. It's good enough for me. It's good enough for you.
Thank you, Commander.
Shut up, Margaret. They can live on potatoes too.
So, Specialist Hoffman, can I assume that you're working on a portable neutrino detection device of some kind?
Yes.
How long before it's ready?
You'll have a second one ready in. Let's see. It's been only. It's going to be still another
8 hours at least.
It's gonna be another 6.5 hours of printing, plus it should take about 4 hours work. 10.5 hours before he has a second one ready. Now, if he really pushes it, he might be able to get it done in a couple hours quicker. But there will, of course, be consequences should he fail.
Yes.
They have to start over.
Dr. Pavlenko, is it within your skill set to modify the laser similar to what we saw on the vehicle outside? Or would that too be a task for Specialist Hoffman?
Let's see. No, I cannot.
That would also be a task for Specialist Hoffman. Now, let me see to modify that laser. Right. I'm just looking. Okay, it doesn't talk about how much. I would say anyway that would be a mechanical and an electrical repair roll each. So one of each, mechanical and electrical repair. Well, electrical repair to basically modify the workings of the laser, and mechanical repair to make it like kind of in any way practical to use as a weapon, like aiming and holding it, etc. Because it's not made for that. Otherwise, you're like talking about two guys holding this fucking comms laser, trying to point it in a direction and fire it at the same time. You know what I mean? So the mechanical repair would be for getting it into any kind of a weaponized, practical form for aiming and firing.
Very well. So, Specialist Hoffman, it appears that we are entirely in your hands.
No pressure.
So, I should stop what I'm doing. Let the printer keep on printing what it can, and stop making the third one that I was going to put in there.
The second,
which would be actually the second.
I see what you mean. Preparing the parts for the third one.
The third neutrino one, but it would be the second one I'm creating. So anyway, if that's what you want me to do, that's what I'll do.
It's not for me to give you orders. Dr. Pavlenko is technically in charge now.
Okay. Sheriff.
That's right, Dr. Pavlenko, you are in charge now. Although technically, Commander Dmitry, what's his goddamn last name? Ivanenko does technically outrank you. He was in charge of the previous mission, so yeah, and he's obviously impaired.
Or the doctor, he could declare him
Doctor is
unfit,
second in command.
unfit,
Yeah, he could also do that too. Yes.
unfit for service. Yeah.
Yeah, he could definitely do that. Could have him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't think he's going to give you much argument now. Anyway, he's just glad he's not alone anymore.
So this requires me to wear a suit to go out and take care of it, correct?
Well, you've got the laser inside, so you can modify it inside, but it depends on what you want to do with it. What
Yeah.
kind of
Or
weapon
if
do you
we're
want to
gonna,
make out of it? You've
we were
already
gonna
got
put
one
it.
attached to the only lunar harvester you have outside. You want to try to make some kind of a actual weapon that you'd be able to move around and fire, like a mounted, basically. It'd still be pretty good size, but it'd be a mounted weapon that you could move around portably and fire essentially.
Maybe we could put it on some kind of con- controlled platform that we could wheel it in, but it has to be connected up to a power supply, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
that's true.
So it's gonna have this big, long, heavy cord that's gonna be
Mm,
tagging along with it. So you've only got
very
the
good
length of that.
point.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. It's just, I had it in mind as kind of, wielding it rather like a sort of very heavy duty vacuum cleaner.
yeah, that's kind of what I figured you meant.
Yeah. Um,
You could do
but
that for power supply.
I mean,
You could manufacture another power supply. You might have to obtain some parts from the nearby solar farm. Is that what it's called? Solar farm? Yeah, from the nearby solar farm. So we'd have to go out there. Probably you, um, um, specialist. And yeah, you could manufacture another power supply using the 3D printer. Just stop what you're doing on the neutrino, make a new battery essentially, get some parts from the solar farm to be able to set it up for charging.
well, actually, at the moment, it would make sense for us all to withdraw to the engineering hab, would it not? Because that way we take the current neutrino detector that we have, set it up
Right.
right there. Specialist has got everything he needs.
Yeah,
We're in one location
sounds good to me.
with an additional way out, 2 ways in and out, which is always useful.
Sounds good to me. I'll bring vodka.
Mm.
And he goes and opens the door underneath the CoC computer and pulls out a bottle.
So if we have that laser in there and get it working, I mean, between the three of us, we can move it around if it's that small of a space. We're only going to stay in one area.
While you work on,
yeah, and if the neutrino goes off, the alarm, then we can man it and move it where we need to.
I'll let you guys think on that for a minute while I go back to Commander Cortez. Returning to orbit. It took a few days. It takes a few days to go to Earth. However, returning to orbit doesn't take that long, I don't think.
No.
No, only a few minutes to attain lunar orbit. So, and then maybe an hour all told by the time you not even an hour now by the time you rendezvous with your Orion spacecraft. And so give me a piloting roll essentially to dock with it safely.
Yeah. Sure. I have a pretty good piloting. 50 out of 70. So yeah.
Yep, you're able to dock in. You get aboard your Orion aircraft, spacecraft, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm immediately going to get to the comms and try to make contact with Mission Control. Yeah.
Go ahead, Orion 2. This is Mission Control.
Mission Control. This is Commander Jack Cortez. We've had a critical emergency here on Moonbase Shackleton. We've lost pretty much the team we were coming to replace. All are dead except for Ivan. Was it Ivanenkov?
Ivanenko, yep.
Ivanenkov.
Dmitry
Ivanenkov.
Commander Dmitry.
and he's he's mentally unstable at this point. We've
Hey, sorry, who's
yeah. I was attacked by something. We have yet to identify what it is. I was forced to take off in the ascent vehicle to in order to be able to reach mission control to
Orion 2, please repeat that
below.
last.
I was attacked by a so some sort of radiation.
Attacked by radiation.
I believe it was some kind of weapon. We need immediate
Stand by,
evacuation.
Orion 2. Orion 2, this is General Hammond. Why don't you go ahead and repeat that to me? Tell me what's the situation there? Who attacked you?
I don't know. There was some. We have no way of knowing, sir. All I know is that that there was an attack on the personnel in the base, and as well as myself, that killed at least three of the previous team.
So one of them still alive?
Yes.
And where is he?
He's still currently on the base. I was going back to the ascent vehicle to retrieve some supplies when I was attacked. I had no choice but to board the ascent vehicle, make it up to Orion, and contact you.
Why haven't you repaired the communications array?
We have been unable to exit the facility for risk of attack.
And
we need immediate evacuation.
Explain this attack to me. Who's attacking you?
I don't know. We don't see them.
You've not seen them?
That's correct. It's some sort of radiation that destroys the cells in the body.
Weaponized radiation, like some kind
Possibly.
of bomb. Or talking about a
no.
array?
It seems to be more localized. I couldn't say if it was a ray or some other delivery system. All I know is that the team is in immediate danger. We need evacuation.
Stand by, Orion 2. Orion 2, what can you tell me about these attacks? What did you see exactly?
All right. So I was on my way back to the lander, to the lander / ascent vehicle, when
why were you returning to your lander if your team
to retrieve supplies? The food and water on the station.
What's wrong with the supplies? There's supplies on the moon base, aren't there?
They have been contaminated.
Should be self-sufficient.
They have been contaminated. We don't know.
You don't seem to know very much, Commander.
That's correct.
Okay, sorry, carry on. You were going back to the lander to retrieve supplies.
Yes, going back to the lander to retrieve supplies. On my way, I was struck by a physical force that also weakened me, and caused damage to my that caused physical damage to me. I was able to make it aboard the vehicle. At that point, the attack seemed to stop, and
You're talking about
I
an invisible soldier or something here? You didn't
I
see
don't know,
anything
sir.
of what attacked you, but it physically attacked you.
It could yes, something physically struck me. Yes.
All right, we'll program your Orion spacecraft for return to Earth. We'll have a team
What about the
pick you up in orbit in a few days.
what about the people on the surface, sir?
We're looking into a rescue operation currently. For now, your orders are to return to Earth immediately. There's nothing more you can do for them from there. You're not able to return to the surface, so you got to come back here, son.
Yes, sir. I'll plot in the course, and no, there are no other descent vehicles, correct?
No, just the one.
Okay. Can this one be refueled and redeployed?
Yes, once it's returned to Earth.
Oh, we can't be refueled in space.
No.
Off the mothership.
No, doesn't have that
Okay.
kind of abilities. It's a one use return. One use return.
Gotcha.
Round trips.
Okay. And I can't contact them down below right now.
You cannot because they don't have communications laser attached and working.
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
well,
I mean,
then,
if you really want to, like, I'm trying to think what you could do. There's not much you can do. I mean, you could try to reprogram the Orion to like fly down there, but it's not really built for landing per se. I mean, it does everything
right.
In orbit.
Right. Yeah.
You could crash it into the base and destroy it, maybe.
yeah. The crew doesn't hate me enough already. Like,
well, yeah, I don't think you're quite suicidal either. So.
No. I mean, if I thought that this thing could get to Earth and cause problems there, then I would consider such a thing as a last effort.
Roll.
Oh, jeez, I'm gonna die. All right. Yeah, hard success.
I haven't seen it since the attack, but could it be aboard your platform?
Let's see.
How? But you don't know. You didn't see it.
Yeah. Well, you said it was heading for the.
It looked like
cargo
it was heading for
section,
the cargo compartment on the lower module,
the lower module. Yeah. Can I jettison the lander before Orion departs for Earth?
You mean the descent module? That's jettisoned on liftoff. That's left behind when you take off.
Well, no, yeah, but I mean the part that I returned in.
Oh,
can I jettison that?
Yeah, just make a spacewalk. Oh, no, you're on the Orion already. Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you certainly could.
Yeah, I will do.
If it came aboard the Orion on your lander, then it could already be somewhere in the Orion too, for that matter. Just a possibility.
Yeah.
You're not really sure because you don't know. You did see it heading towards the descent module. It looked like it was going towards the cargo section.
Yeah.
Which was where you were originally heading to. But you're not really sure. Why don't you give me a sanity roll?
Okay. No, despite my cool demeanor, I failed with an 84.
Oh, okay. You can lose 2 points of sanity as you're really not sure if by returning to Earth you'll be bringing this alien back with you or not. You don't know.
Oh.
This ain't the movies.
Right.
It's not like you can, just eject it out the hatch or something. You know what I mean? If it is on here, maybe if you stay in a space
Isn't it?
suit.
Yeah. Maybe. In that case, I will delay my return trip.
Okay.
And I'll wait for 1 hour. To see because if this thing is aboard, it may come after me again. What I will do is I will stand by. I will plot in basically a course that would crash me into the surface. Just as an an emergency, and I'll wait by that panel. And if this thing tries to attack me, I'll scuttle the ship.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I'll wait.
How long will you wait?
An hour.
Okay. Gotcha. An hour passes. Nothing
that'll
comes to
okay.
attack you.
All right. Damn it. Yeah. All right. I'll begin the return trip.
Okay.
Damn it.
You begin your
Okay.
return
Yeah.
trip. Now back to the base. Well, actually, let's look at the time here. Yeah, we've been playing over 3 hours. Do you guys want to do a second session of this in 2 weeks' time, or do you want to push on for a little while and see if we can resolve it?
I personally would prefer a second session, but I defer to the general.
I'm okay either way. Although I can't imagine I will be much of a participant in the next one.
Yeah, you probably won't be actually. You get to miss it. It really
Yeah.
just be for Neil.
Yeah,
Rob,
and that's fine.
Mary.
Yeah,
I'm game for that.
okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I will do is I will resolve. Well, on the rest of your return flight, there will be frequent communications from mission control. Do you at any point in time intimate to them that there may be an alien intelligence on the moon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once you've cracked to that level and told them you think that this physical thing that attacked you that you couldn't quite see was.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to work on my mind as I go back and I keep thinking about it and thinking about it. Yeah, and finally I'll.
Do you believe that at the time that you left the station, that you left the moon, the situation was under control? The creature, alien, whatever life form contained or destroyed? Or do you believe that situation was still dire and the alien was still a threat?
I have to assume the alien was still a threat, at least to the people on the moon.
Okay. Very well.
Because although I hope that maybe my takeoff did something, I can't assume that.
So, what proceeds to happen for Commander Jack Cortez? You will overhear a conversation basically declaring the moon quarantined until conditions improve or the alien situation can be resolved. The rescue operation is canceled until further notice. No further communications are to be, and you get cut off.
Okay.
Damn it. For however much time remains, your aircraft continues to fly towards Earth orbit. Because that's what it's programmed to do.
Right.
If you try to override this in any way, it won't let you. Unless you're going to try to take it apart and reprogram it. Could possibly do that if you have the... what would that be? I guess it'd be a computer skill. Not an easy one either. If you decide you want to return to Earth, that's entirely up to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once I sort of hear that
mission control
that they're
doesn't
not
respond to any more of your messages at that.
Yeah. Once I hear they're not going to send a rescue mission, do I think I can turn this thing around to return?
It probably wouldn't have enough fuel.
Okay. All right. No,
might be able to,
I will.
but you're not really sure.
Yeah.
It's not very safe to do so.
Okay. Yeah.
And even if you did, what would you do? You can't land on the moon.
Well, no, but I could remain in orbit so that if they manage to or you get the comms back or use the cargo rocket or something to escape or something.
Let me see here.
I could at least
looking at the data. Yeah, because you're a pilot, right? What's your pilot skill at?
70.
You wouldn't have enough fuel to make it back to the moon.
Okay. All right.
So you continue on to Earth orbit.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of being met by a space plane to pick you up, you are met by a missile, which blows your Orion spacecraft to smithereens with you aboard it.
Yep. That makes perfect sense. Okay. Damn it. Oh, well.
And at least one contamination threat has been eliminated.
Yep.
All right, cool. So we'll pick this up in a couple of weeks. The 3 remaining players who are stranded on the moon to see how
that was not my fault.
To see how things go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna end the recording, but thanks for playing.